these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the aluminum company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The aluminum company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done?
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
You put sunscreen on when you go out in the sun. Did you know that the sun could hurt your car, too? It's true. Keep cool this summer and protect the interior from fading and cracking with a custom window tint from SoundStation and Security. The sun's harmful UV rays can also hurt your paint on the exterior. That's why SoundStation and Security offers custom ceramic coating. Think of it as a little sunscreen with SoundStation and Security. 2 locations in downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Today's the 4th straight heat advisory in our area, therefore the 4th straight WRAL weather alert day as the heat index climbs to 104 or above. Scattered storms will be around after about 2 p.m. before turning quieter at night. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock, check of your money. Dow Jones up 142 points to 44,485.
Bryce in the pocket, steps up, eludes the rush, throws, end zone, caught, Adam Thielen, touchdown!
He'll toss it that way to Hampton, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina.
Bailey, shotgun, snap left hashes, QB keeper, dives forward, touchdown. Bailey is 3rd of the night.
Cooper faces up with 5 and 4, drives Davis, spins, waiting, fades away, and hits!
Game over! Series over! Sebastian!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy new week to you all. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. It's a great week, everybody. It's a great week. Not a good week, not an okay week. I'm not blowing smoke. It's a great week, everybody. ACC Media Days. We will be there Wednesday and Thursday talking to coaches and players of your favorite teams. NFL training camps, the ones that haven't already opened up, will be open by the end of this week, including the Carolina Panthers. Rookies report today. Practice starts Wednesday. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to get to, and we will get there. But first, as always, we start the show with the Big Three at 3.
Number 1.
Nick Scorton signed over the offseason with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. Good weekend for Nick.
2nd round pick inks the deal, which means, with today being rookie report day, He doesn't have to miss anything. If he hadn't signed the deal, he wouldn't be allowed to participate until he did sign the deal. And that is wildly important for a whole bunch of reasons. If for nothing else then, Nick Scorton gets the best chance, the most opportunity to learn and be prepared for game one or preseason game one or practice one. Right? Football is a game of inches, gentlemen. And because of that, every little percent, every little hidden bit of advantage or disadvantage out there matters. So Nick Scorton will play from the jump. And he completes the rookie class. The entire rookie draft class has now inked their contracts, so they'll all be in attendance, which for a multitude of reasons I believe is more important for the Panthers than a lot of teams. They are depending on this rookie class. There's no redshirt years for this rookie class. Be prepared to roll because with the positions they are, maybe outside of Trevor Etienne in the 4th and Cam Jackson in the 5th. Everybody else is at a position where I believe if you have a great camp, if you have a great preseason, you can be in the mix in a big way the first quarter of the first game of the year. I don't know how many coaches would be excited about that. You mean every rookie might play? But at the same time, that's the hand you're dealt. You want those guys to go win a job. We'll talk more about that rookie class coming up. That's number one. So in about 10 minutes, we'll dive further into rookie reporting today for the Carolina Panthers. But right now, we have some championships to celebrate, or at least one. Let's hit number two.
Number 2. The Charlotte Hornets
are champions of Summer League. The Charlotte Hornets, Con Knippel, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and their Summer League team are champions of Summer League.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Championships are championships, and they're to be celebrated, Tim.
You're darn right.
You play to win.
You're darn right. Since Con Knippel was drafted 4th overall, the Charlotte Hornets have won every single trophy that is available to them. Every single trophy that could possibly be won has been won by the Charlotte Hornets since they drafted Liam McNeely, 29th overall.
Facts are facts.
Since they drafted Sion James at the top of the 2nd round. Since they had their draft, they have won every trophy possible. Ryan Kalkbrenner, another early 2nd-round pick, 7-footer, 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, had double digits and nearly a double-double with 9 rebounds in the championship game. He was asked how the Hornets were able to bond so quickly.
We just got a bunch of guys who love winning, and they just want to do their part to win. We don't care who's scoring. We don't care who's making the play. We just want to win. So that's step number 1 to making a winning team right there, and we got that with this team.
I do think sometimes the Summer League championship goes to whoever cares the most about the Summer League championship. If you're playing the hardest, if your prospects are going the most aggressive, if you're playing your top prospects the most, you have a good chance of winning the Summer League title. Kind of like All-Star Game MVP, right? In the NBA, usually by the end of the first 5 or 6 minutes, you know which 3 guys are going for Summer League MVP because they're playing a little bit harder. They're shooting a few more shots. There was no doubt in my mind the Hornets wanted this one. There's no doubt in my mind the players they drafted, including Con Knippel, are the type of basketball psychos that are like, well, yeah, if there's a trophy if I get to play basketball, I'm going to go out there to win. They weren't too cool for school. Matter of fact, in not the championship game, an earlier game, Con Knippel diving for a loose ball. What was he, up 36 in a Summer League game? Gashed open his forehead above his right eye. Now, for most 4th overall picks with guaranteed contracts, they aren't playing for a roster spot. They're not playing for opportunity. They get a gash on any part of their body. They're like, you know what? Summer League was fun. You guys take it from here. What does he do? Darn near went full Rocky. Cut me, Mick. He gets it bandaged up. He has to wear, in his description, his words, a ridiculous headband. He had to go full like Jackie Moon from Semi-Pro.
It definitely was a ridiculous headband.
He said it. He's like, I look ridiculous. But again, when a lot of players would go, I'm not going to go out there looking ridiculous with this headband on. He went out there and earned championship game MVP. There's a saying about how to I don't know, find most fulfillment in your career. Find something that you would do for free, and then find some way for someone to give you a whole bunch of money for it. I feel like Con Knippel's done that, and he's like 19 years old. Check, fully accomplished. Summer League? Yeah, I'd do that for free. They're also going to give me millions of dollars a year to play basketball? Fantastic. Hornets win Summer League. They actually had a trophy. There's an MVP trophy, a celebration, the whole thing, and it was in Vegas. Now, I'm not going to do a full audit of the last 10 years of Hornets wins. If you told me that win was the most upbeat a Hornets organization has been in 10 years, I wouldn't have anything off the top of my head to say you're wrong. Maybe LaMelo Ball's All-Star selection. Are we getting that excited about that? It's kind of tough. That's number 2 on the Big 3 at 3. Let's wrap it up with number 3.
Number 3.
Scotty Scheffler's pretty good, huh? You want a boring Sunday? Watch Scotty Scheffler with a 4, 5, 6, 7-stroke lead at a major. It was dunzo. So much so that the guy was halfway through his round on Sunday, cruising, right? Had the lead. Everybody kind of assumed it was over. People started having debates about his outlook on life. Do you realize how good you have to be as a golfer? That with 9 or more holes to go in a major, it's so assumed you're going to win that we start having philosophical debates while watching and talking about the golf? And if you think I'm lying about it, I'm not. If you're not in the golf world locked in, Scotty Scheffler made some comments about how winning majors doesn't give him the fulfillment that he's looking for in life. He finds that at home through his family and his home life, and then golf is just what he likes to do and what he chases. Matter of fact, we have some audio here for you. Scotty Scheffler on loving to win, but his success isn't tied to winning.
If somebody's going to listen to the comments I had this week, I would encourage them to listen to all of it. And hopefully I did a good job of communicating that, yeah, this is amazing to win the Open Championship. But at the end of the day, having success in life, whether it be in golf or work or whatever it is, that's not what fulfills the deepest desires of your heart. Am I grateful for it? Do I enjoy it? Oh my gosh, yeah, this is a cool feeling. I can't wait to get home and celebrate this championship, with the people that have kind of helped me along the way. But at the end of the day, it doesn't fulfill the deepest desires of my heart. And but it's just tough to describe when you haven't lived it. Something I actually talked to Shane about this week was, just because you win a golf tournament or accomplish something, it doesn't make you happy. It doesn't. Maybe for a few moments, maybe for a few days, but at the end of the day, there's more to life than playing golf. But I'm pretty excited to go home and celebrate this one.
Dare I say, that is very healthy of him. Dare I say, not making your identity your career is a healthy way to live. But dare I also say, that's not the most entertaining way for us to watch. I think that's why people are so confused by it. We want the Tigers, the Kobes, the MJs, the ones that are no, my entire life is consumed by winning. The Tom Bradys. I'm gonna play and I'm gonna win and I'm gonna play and I'm gonna win. And if I don't win, my week is ruined. And until I can win the next time, that makes the stakes super high, right? Then you're watching Scotty Scheffler on a Sunday, even with a 5-stroke lead, and you're going, if this guy collapses, I don't know if he'll ever bounce back. It's gonna ruin him. Oh no, the stakes, right? He has to play hard. He has to play well. If he doesn't, oh no. Now we know Scotty, even win, lose, or draw, is going to go home and have a fulfilled life. It's you know what? Kind of takes away some of the intensity here, doesn't it? Kind of changes the vibe to a sport that is literally as unbelievable as the athletics of hand-eye coordination and stuff are for golf. We don't watch for the highlight superhero plays, right? We don't. We watch for, you got a 3-footer for $3 million and a legacy on the line. And when we would be trembling, can you lock in those nerves and make the putt, right? You have to put this one on the fairway or else you're going to fall out of the top 10 and lose your invitation to next year and on and on and on. That's what golf is, right? It's just manufacturally raising the stakes. Scotty's yeah, I want to win. but it doesn't really, affect my life, which, again, is healthy for him, and he should keep doing it because it's working. He's winning at an astronomical rate. But it is different than what we've seen from those others that have achieved the level of golf that he is playing. Much more Arnold Palmer than Jack Nicklaus, if you will. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. But credit to him. He dominated the field. Dominated. Absolute. Just steamrolled him. That's the big 3 at 3 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Nick Scorton signed on the dotted line. He will be a Carolina Panther from the opening jump of training camp, as will the rest of the rookie class. How much do they need to have massively important and successful first years? I'll tell you next.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing. Made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. T&Cs apply.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
What sounds like a fun weekend?
Hey, let's hit the beach.
What does not sound like a fun weekend?
I know it's hot out, but we need to restain the deck. Put on your long sleeves and mosquito spray. I'm going to grab all the stuff.
Preserve your weekend, your home, and investment, and call Preserve Services instead. Our Preserve team excels in interior and exterior painting and home repairs. We're your one-stop shop in the Triangle for jobs you need done, but don't want to tackle. And get this, you don't pay a penny until the job's done. Schedule today at preserveservices.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Carolina Panthers rookies report to training camp today. Won't be practicing on the field till Wednesday, but there's some, I assume, paperwork. I don't know. Got to go through the HR processes, watch some videos on workplace harassment. Do they have the same first day of work like the rest of us do? I don't know. But I do know they are in the building as of today.
They selecting like FSA allotments. You want the HSA?
Yeah, exactly. Gotta work out my plan. How much tax will I be withholding? Like, do they have to do all that?
I'm sure they do.
I don't know. Get the culture lunch with the CEO who's going to describe everything about how they operate there. I don't know, but the rookies are in the building today. Veterans should be there in time for practice on Wednesday. And a lot of contributors are reporting today. Sometimes I think it's kind of might be like a awkward, you're the weird one. One of these things is not like the other for like a first or second round pick when the rookies report. Because everybody else is on, like all the other rookies there are on edge. They're worrying about a roster spot. They're hoping to have the opportunity to impress. Many of them won't be on the team like 3 weeks into the future. Meanwhile, the first and second round pick are like, I think I'm penciled into a pretty big role here already. So I think we're just in a different part of our career. Then the veterans show up, and that's probably who the first and second round pick kind of gravitate towards, right? But for that first little bit, it's kind of awkward. It is, I would assume. It's like being the one scholarship guy around a bunch of walk-ons. It's like, well, I'm not allowed to complain about anything, right? You guys are paying for your food over here. Like, it's a different beast. That's not the case for the Panthers. I think Teteroa McMillan walks in and is like, I'm going to have play a pretty big role in transforming this offense. And Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen are like, yeah, you know what? I think we have to have pretty big roles in helping get this pass rush going, which is going to really help the defense. Lathan Ransom's going, yeah, our safeties have a whole bunch of questions on the top of the depth chart. I'm trying to go ahead and work my way into a huge amount of playing time. Mitchell Evans is saying Tommy Trimble is just had back surgery. I don't know when he's coming back, but until then, two tight end sets, I'm in. Like, there's no other option. I'm in. Even Jimmy Horn Jr., their 6th and final round pick, is sitting around going, there's a lot of receivers here, but that kick returner job is wide open, and I'm trying to get my hands on the ball as often as possible. That is a lot of rookies that aren't sitting around going, geez, I hope there's an opportunity for me, that are sitting there looking at the depth chart and going, I might be the leader in the clubhouse for a lot of snaps right now. The two that I didn't mention that were drafted, Trevor Etienne, a running back. I mean, Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle are pretty locked in ahead of him on the depth chart, but there might be a change of pace role every now and then, maybe a pass-catching role. The one thing Chuba Hubbard really doesn't do great is catch passes and be a bigger part of the pass game, so maybe Etienne's even thinking that. And Cam Jackson, a gargantuan human at defensive tackle, that's obviously just the Panthers can't resist adding more gigantic humans to their defensive front. I don't know how much he'll play into the rotation, but I've seen them rotate quite a few through the defensive front. So he's even not exactly just resigned to hoping to make the team. He's probably pretty confident. There are, I would say, very few coaches in the history of football. I don't want to say zero because I haven't talked to them all. But if I had to wager whatever number you want to give me, I'm taking the under. There have been very few coaches in the NFL in history that have said, oh, I can't wait to depend on all those rookies. Oh, we're going to try to win games. I'm so glad we have so many rookies in the two deep. The best thing about rookies, they turn into second-year players. You just got to give them time. This is not ideal. But I do think the Panthers knew this was the case when they drafted him, because that does change the way you kind of evaluate players. If we don't have any time to let this guy marinate. We can't put him in the oven, on a low temperature for a long time. We need microwave guys. They got to be ready to play week one. Dennis, I know you were talking about an article from Mike Kay with the Charlotte Observer, talking about Nick Scorton, the second rounder. Mm-hmm. And something you said, we were just talking about it literally a couple minutes ago in the office, stuck out to me. The outside linebackers coach for the Panthers?
Yes.
Was complimenting Nick Scorton for his mental acuity, right? His ability to pick things up quickly and knowledge of the game and football IQ and those types of things. Paraphrasing, but that's what I took away out of it. Am I missing something there?
No, I think you're pretty spot on. And just as well as Scorton's ability to be able to play multiple positions, maybe you can line up outside of a tackle or outside of a tight end, do some different things, and just working on some of those smaller, finer details, because he has all the raw ability. Now just got to tune things up.
Now,
lack of a better term.
It's exactly what I was looking for. Because if you look at the second round, which is when Nick Scorton was drafted, with the 51st pick, if you look at some of the edges that came after, like a Mike Green, granted there was off the field stuff there, but let's just pretend in a vacuum. Mike Green may be more freakish physically, right? Panthers don't just need a freak athlete right now. They need somebody that can get out there and know their assignment, can get out there and execute their assignment, right? It's now, granted, if the difference is he's 50% of the athlete of the other guy, you probably still lean towards the athlete. But if it's close, even if you have one guy a couple percentage points higher, you'd go, no, we need somebody that can play right now. We need somebody that doesn't need to figure it out. Princely Umanmielen has talked about it. He's their third-round pick, an edge rusher. He's an edge rusher extraordinaire. Right, that he's talked about how he doesn't think anybody can stop him, and he's a very confident individual, and how in college he didn't even have to break out all of his pass rush moves because it was so easy to just win with the speed rush every time. That's his words, paraphrased, but that's his sentiment, not mine. Well, if you're looking for somebody to come in on third downs and rush the passer, okay, we don't have to get that guy in here and teach him how to do it. He's pretty confident in his ability. Now, you can work with him, obviously, on stopping the run and all these other things, but I think they're going to bring him in as a situational pass rusher, and he's going to be that dude from game one. Mitchell Evans at tight end. I don't even know if they planned on it happening this way because Tommy Tremble has had some medical things even after the draft. But Mitchell Evans looks a lot like the guy who complements the pass or the skill set of a JT Sanders, right? So if you needed to have a versatile tight end room, Jatavian Sanders, their fourth-round pick last year, dropped some weight. Looks like he's going to be more of a split-out pass-catching tight end. Mitchell Evans, and I emphasize this wasn't me, but others have done it, watched one clip of him at minicamp and started comparing him to Gronk because he's that kind of size and body type.
He definitely has that body type for sure.
Not saying anything about the quality of play. Gronk might be, at his best, the best tight end to ever live. But you see that, right? Complements the guy who dropped weight very well. The rookie class for the Panthers is important. In a lot of ways, how much they exceed expectations could decide how good the Panthers are this year. And I'm not exaggerating that at all. We're going to talk about a article from ESPN about the entire roster of the Panthers in a little bit. And one of the things they mentioned is they considered wide receiver a strength and then said, admittedly, there is some projection here because they need Teteroa McMillan to be the number one. We've been talking about it for a long time. I'll back it up and stand on it and say the thing that concerns me most about the Panthers' defense is their ability to stop the pass. That would be coverage in the secondary, and that would be rushing the passer. Well, enter your second, third, and fourth-round picks, Nick Scorton, Princely Umanmielen on the edge rush, and Lathan Ransom potentially joining in the secondary. If those guys exceed expectations, Panthers will exceed expectations. If those guys look like rookies more often than they look like vets, which would be understandable considering they are rookies, Panthers could be in for another season where there's a lot of but what if we were close in that one? How exciting was it to be in the game late against? Enter your good team there. You could have a lot of that until a rookie makes a rookie mistake. Until a rookie drops a potentially game-winning touchdown. Until a rookie looks like a rookie. Even something as simple as if Jimmy Horn Jr. is returning kicks or punts. There's a lot of opportunities for rookies to look like rookies on special teams. And then I thought this was interesting, just one more take on the rookie class. Kobe Hudson, who's one of my undrafted free agents to watch, wide receiver, and Ethan Garbers, who's a depth quarterback, were both on the Minnesotan retreat we talked about last week, where they all got together in Adam Thielen's neck of the woods, quarterbacks, wide receivers, tight end or two. They got together for a little workout. So even some undrafted free agent rookies might be thinking like, hey, maybe if I become their friend, I can hang around a little bit. I think there's some teams out there that are excited to draft projects and let them marinate on the bench and maybe get in a little bit. The Panthers are going, no. You're in there. And they know they are too. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Rookies report today. Whew, so excited. Also so excited for the Dean's List. Another UNC former golfer, former golfer for the Tar Heels, won on the PGA Tour. I'm not talking Ben Griffin. Another one. I'll tell you who. Stick around. Dean's List next.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything! The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you're watching on YouTube where we aren't allowed to play this rejoin music, you just saw me dance with no context. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Right back to college. It is time right here. Speaking of right back to college, let's highlight some of those that are directly or indirectly related to the college sports world that we care about so much here in the Triangle. It's called the Dean's List. This is where we give those extra accolades, a little bit extra praise that is deserved. I have to put the UNC golf program, the Tar Heel golf program, on the Dean's List. Ben Griffin has been really good this year. Raleigh native, former Tar Heel. It's looking like he's going to be on the Ryder Cup team. Like he's legit. And then this weekend, while the big dogs were overseas, Royal Portrush in the Open Championship, there was a alternate event for PGA Tour players, the Barracuda. Ryan Gerard won. 25-year-old, ready for this? Raleigh native, former Tar Heel golfer. It is a really good year on the PGA Tour for Raleigh native, former Tar Heel golfers. Gerard won in his 47th PGA Tour start. First win on PGA Tour. So now, for the rest of his life, he's no longer Ryan Gerard. He's Ryan Gerard, PGA Tour winner. And he was one off from being really cool. He's the 999th golfer to win in PGA Tour history. There's been 999 guys to win at least one tournament on the PGA Tour in its history. Congrats to him. Dennis, do you have someone you'd like to put on the Dean's List?
I do. The World University Games are taking place. And I remember, I for some reason, I lost her name. Swimmer from NC State. She actually won one of the backstroke events. And for some reason, I had her name written down. Now I can't seem to find it. That's on me.
Let's see. Kennedy Noble, perhaps?
Yes.
No? Is
Noble,
that it?
yes. Please we'll start.
All right, shout out to NC State. It started well. Yeah, there we go. I believe it's Noble. Could also be Leah Shackley. There's a few.
It was Noble. Yes.
All right.
So there you go. World University Championships going on in Germany right now.
So just all college athletes from across the country, world? All right, cool. All right, I've got 2 more here. Actually, I got 3 more here, if we're being real. I want to give a Dean's List shout-out to DJ Horn and DJ Burns, former NC State basketball teammates, 2 of the very key members of that magical run State went on to the Final Four a couple years ago. They're playing on the same team in the basketball tournament, the tournament that is put on every year. It's basically just a big cash prize, and you can put teams together however you want, find the entry fee, and go play.
Yeah, $1 million at stake. It's the same as the TST, same people.
Exactly. They're playing for Team Challenge ALS, so there's a charity element to their team as well. But DJ Horn and DJ Burns are playing together. Now, there is this, it's a rivalry, so I'm saying it's fair. But the other teams in the ACC love to see a former player from one of their rivals not playing in the NBA, playing anywhere else, and just give them a hard time, right? Like, oh, your best player is playing in the TBT. Or, oh, better learn to go play in China, buddy. Like, those jokes, they're fair. But there's two points here from a former athlete. Somebody that did not go on to play after college. If you can keep playing, keep doing it, right? Because there's going to be a point in time where your knees and back don't allow you to, and you're going to be like, you know what? It would be nice if I could get out there and feel the rush of competing one more time. And 2, find a time to play with your buddies. That's even more rare. Like if DJ Burns and DJ Horn get to run a couple pick and rolls together one more time, there ain't nothing wrong with that. They're not going to regret that a bunch of years later. I mean, it's not for everybody. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I have friends that went over and won Italian Super Bowls, played professional football, and professional is kind of in air quotes. I don't know if they made a bunch of money. In Germany, we're talking football in Europe, like American football in Europe. But looking back, I mean, let's make fun of them for getting to live in a cool country for 6 months in their 20s. What losers, right? Or, they got to play on national television one more time and potentially make some money and raise some money for ALS. I don't know. It seems like it's all right with me. Next Dean's List. Former NC State offensive coordinator and App State head coach Eli Drinkwitz.
Oh, okay.
He is now the Missouri head coach.
He is.
At their media days, right, at the conference media days that have taken place, ACC's coming up this weekend. He pitched, ready for this? A new college football playoff. 30 teams.
I'm sorry, how many?
30.
What?
Now, he went into more complicated about how some of the conference championship games could act as play-in games, or you maybe do away with conference championship games, and instead you put, the top 2 teams from your conference get in, and then the 3 and 4 play in for the there's some complications going on here.
But he had some rhyme or reason to it.
Yes. Okay. Part of the quote is, now you're talking about an opportunity for 30 teams, 30 fan bases to be excited and engaged in giving revenue. You got 30 teams with players who have access to compete for a championship. So for me, I think that makes a lot more sense. Now, here's why he's on the Dean's List. Not because I love the idea. He's on the Dean's List because no bad ideas. He's on the Dean's List because if you have something that goes against the grain a little bit, say it, right? You're not, trust me, Eli Drinkwitz doesn't have the kind of power to just say it and make it happen. But if he puts it out there and it ends up being the best way, better than whatever we were going to get to eventually listening to the NCAA or listening to the bowl sponsors, that's good, right? The worst thing that can happen is he says it out loud. He goes, here's why. And we all go, that's dumb. And then he goes back to being the head coach at Missouri, right? Then he goes back to putting on mediocre SEC seasons. That's how that rolls. So no bad ideas when it comes to the future of the CFP. And when I say no bad ideas, I just mean if you say a bad idea, we won't berate you for it. And as somebody that played FCS for a while, I think we had like a 24 or 32 team bracket. So it is like physically possible. We've had that many into a championship bracket at one point.
I know Division III, it was 10-game regular season, 32-team playoff.
I want to say my sophomore year we played like 15 or 16 games because we ran all the way through the playoffs. But we did have a bye, so it could have been even one more. Like there's you can play a lot of football.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's the other thing about it?
What's that?
The more teams you have in, and I'm not saying you should, but the more teams you have in, two things become obvious. One, it kind of becomes like the basketball tournaments, which is makes like a lesser team, a lesser program, that becomes like their goal is like, let's make the dance, even if we don't think we have a chance to win the championship, right? Because there are teams that celebrate making it to the NCAA basketball tournament or winning a game in the NCAA basketball tournament, even if they acknowledge, like, we're probably not going to win the national championship. They can be really excited about that. That happens. And then the other thing is you rarely see players opt out of games if a national championship is still on the line. So by keeping more teams eligible for a national championship, more of the postseason games will include the first-round picks or the stars, right? Because as soon as you're not in the CFP, it's like, oh, well, I'm really going to play in the, like, Jimmy Kimmel's LA Bowl? Like, no. I'm going to bounce out of there. If that were the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl first round of the 30-team bracket, you know what? Maybe I will stick around because we might win a national championship. So there's options there is what I'm saying. I still wouldn't go to that many. I think the perfect number is 8. I've said that a bunch of times. But I'm open to being convinced otherwise, so if you got an idea, send it to us. Perfect number is 8. 4 Power 5 conference teams. 4 Power 5. 4 Power 4 conference teams, and if the Pac-12 builds themselves up, we'll go back to 5. Then the highest-ranked conference champion from the group of 5. 3 at large. Call it a day. That's what I say. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Dean's List. Before we move on to winners and losers, I've got a winner for you. Gordon Miller and Miller Lending. Tim Donnelly here for Gordon Miller and Miller Lending. Rates, meaning interest rates, mortgage rates, they go up a half point, down a half point. They go down a point. They go up 2 points. They go up and down. And because of that, it's a little scary, right? I just locked in my mortgage, and now I'm refreshing the app to see what the rates are every single morning, just hoping that rates don't go down, because that would mean when I locked in my rate, I didn't do it at the perfect time, and my monthly payment is higher than it had to be. It's scary, right? For most of us, our house is our biggest investment. Our home is our biggest investment, and all you want to do is have made good choices on your biggest investment. Well, Gordon Miller and Miller Lending make that a little bit easier because they have something called a no-cost loan. No closing costs, no fees, no third-party fees, no surcharges at closing, whether it is setting up your initial mortgage on a home or refinancing. And the reason why that takes some of that worry off of your plate is because if you wake up one day, you refresh that app, you check mortgage rates, you talk to your broker, and rates are lower, refinance. No costs, no fees to you. You don't have to worry about, oh man, I locked in my mortgage last month. I should have waited and done it now. My monthly payment would be lower, because it's like, oh, if I would have done it now, my monthly payment would be lower. Let me do it with Miller Lending. No cost, no fees out of my pocket. There are people in the office here that have used them a bunch of times to continuously refinance as rates drop. They've all left unbelievably satisfied with their experience. You can as well. Just give them a call. Miller Lending's phone number, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online, millerlending.com. That easy to remember, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We have winners and losers coming up, so start thinking about who you think has won and lost the last week across the sports world. Stick around.
Stitches, itches, aches, and pains. Strep and sinus, minor sprains. Pink eye, earaches, fever, flu. Virtual visits, physicals too. At WakeMed MyCare 365, we offer both walk-in primary care and urgent care. So find the MyCare location nearest you at wakemed.org. Walk right in, and for just about anything from asthma, rashes, and examinations to x-rays, labs, and vaccinations, make MyCare your care.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come in, throw it in, and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you, hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there.
Newcomb & Company, your independent terrain dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is officially time for one of my favorite segments of the week. Every Monday, right about this time, we play winners and losers. It is very simple. Who won and who lost the last week? And we're looking for more than just, oh, this team scored more than the other. It's about vibes. It's about atmosphere. It's about who really won and who really lost. So let's go ahead and fire up a little winners.
This team will never lose again.
And losers. First, I'm going to start with a loser. And I assume it's going to be most of us, but I'm a loser. For those of you that
why do you say that?
Do you put in for the Masters lottery every year?
What's that?
The only way to get tickets to the Masters is usually it's June 1 to June 20. You request them.
Okay.
And it's complete lottery. They let you know in late July whether you've gotten the tickets or not.
For the following year's Masters?
It would be this upcoming April.
Okay.
If you log into your account right now on the Masters tickets website, you can find out whether they chose you or not. And I did during the commercial break, and they did not choose me. Another year not going to the Masters. But that is a little reminder for those of you that have applied for the lottery. You can check. Let's be more optimistic here. Shall we get to a winner? A winner, Chris Paul. North Carolina native, Wake Forest legend. Signed a one-year deal with the Clippers. Now, he has already made it known that this is most likely his last year playing professional basketball. The reason why I put him as a winner, I don't think this is the best basketball fit for him. I think the Clippers already have a bunch of old guys. They have Kawhi, they have Brook Lopez, they have James Harden, they have Bradley Beal. They don't necessarily need the things that Chris Paul brings, the veteran leadership, showing young guys how to be a pro, like he's kind of done bouncing around teams these last few years. But I think Chris Paul wants to go to where he's comfortable, where his family has put down roots. He obviously was a Clipper for a long time, and there's at least a chance, right? I think, ironically, the place where he would benefit a team the most this year is probably teams that aren't quite ready to compete for championships. The teams that have young guys, a core that they hope will compete in years into the future, and he can impart wisdom. But I want him to get a ring. So I guess the Clippers are whatever, like one of the 10 best teams to potentially win a ring. If all those old guys stay healthy, they got a chance. So I'm happy Chris Paul gets to do what Chris Paul wanted to do as his career winds down. Dennis, do you have any winners or losers you'd like to throw in?
The Charlotte Hornets, baby.
Hey.
First championship in franchise history. I'm not just talking about, an actual, tournament or an NBA championship, but they've never won an NBA title. They've never won a conference championship.
No in-season tournament.
No in-season tournament. They never even won a regular season division title. So this is truly the first title in Charlotte Hornets history, baby. Let's go, Hornets! Let's go! We are a Hornets station now.
Yeah, we're probably
Why
by
not?
default already. Not a lot of.
No. It's official now.
You got to earn.
Exactly.
We are front runners and bandwagon jumpers. You got to win something before we jump on. Another winner. A winner. Former Panther Frankie Louvu. NFL's put out their NFL Top 100, voted by his peers. Louvu is the 70th best player in the NFL, as voted by his player peers across the league. Listen, I liked him when he was with the Panthers. I think he really laid his body on the line, did everything right for the Panthers. Obviously took a contract with Washington and has thrived there as well. But he deserves recognition, and he wasn't getting it, so I'm putting him on the winners list. Washington is so trendy right now. So trendy. Loser? This one's going to sting a little. Memphis. The Memphis Tigers. There's a report out there today. First of all, call the ACC, please. Memphis, call the ACC. Here's why. Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports reports. Memphis made a pitch to join the Big 12 earlier this month, only to be turned away. Big 12 said we're good with 16 teams. Here's the real kick in the gut. The Big 12 quickly reviewed a proposal with $200+ million in financial backing from Memphis. But the league remains content to stay at 16. Do you realize how unattractive as a partner, as a league mate, you must be to say, not only am I interested in joining your conference, but I'm bringing $200+ million as part of my offer, and have them still go, thanks, but no thanks. We're good.
Or how dumb is the Big 12?
Maybe they're not strapped for cash the way it seems most conferences are. They're like, well, we've got Scrooge McDuck money. We're swimming in it in the other room. We don't need your $250 million. Brett McMurphy of On3. Big 12 not interested in adding Memphis despite school offering $250 million in sponsorship to the league. I think Memphis has, is it the FedEx guy? They've got some billionaire backing them.
That sounds right, FedEx, I think.
Or some other, maybe a different delivery. Don't quote me on the FedEx. They've got some billionaire backing them. And they've basically been trying to buy their way into the Big 12 and got turned down. I think if I were Memphis, the ACC might be a little less, empowered by their financial situation. That might be a little more like, well, make it $275 and you got yourself a deal.
I don't know. Loser Big 12. Let's be honest.
For not taking that money?
Yeah, Big 12. You're behind the ACC in media revenue money. Behind the ACC. And you only got one team into the CFP this past year. So you're not like you're cashing out on a whole bunch of that either. You need every dollar you can get, Big 12, just to even try and catch the ACC.
Loser, Memphis. Everything Dennis just said is true, and they still didn't want you.
I know. How bad is that?
Yeah, that's the loser right there.
Hey, you guys really need this. Do we, though?
We have no other options, and we need the money desperately, but we just can't accept Memphis.
Yeah. Sorry, Penny Hardaway.
I don't know what to do with that. Winner. Julius Peppers, Luke Kuechly, Steve Smith Sr., Johnny Hecker, and Ted Ginn Jr.
Johnny Hecker? That's a heck of a name to be lumped in with those others, as well as Ted Ginn.
They are, according to Monday Morning Quarterback and SI kind of offshoot, players that received votes on their all-century NFL team. Peppers, first team at defensive end and the leading vote getter at defensive end.
So specifically for the Panthers?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
These are the players. No, not just all century. These is all century for every team.
Oh, for like the whole NFL.
Everybody that's played in the NFL since 2000.
Oh, okay.
Just measuring their resume since 2000. So
okay.
If you played to 2001, you only get your 2000 and 2001 seasons to count. Luke Kuechly, second team linebacker at inside linebacker, fourth leading vote getter at the position. Johnny Hecker, third team punter.
Let's go, baby.
Third team punter. Steve Smith Sr. was in the other receiving votes category at wide receiver.
Okay.
And Ted Ginn Jr. was in the other receiving votes category at punt returner.
There you go.
So the only Panthers that I could see, maybe I missed somebody that was like on the Panthers for 6 games or something at the end of their career, but it was Peppers, Kuechly, Smith Sr., Hecker, and Ginn Jr.
No Kevin Green? No, not Kevin Green. No, Jared Allen,
I didn't see Jared Allen on there.
Really?
Yeah.
The guy's a Hall of Famer.
I think there might be 15 Hall of Famers at edge, right?
It's true.
Loser, also the Monday Morning Quarterback All-Century team voters. There were 10 players unanimous at their position for first team. Julius Peppers was not one of them.
Stooges.
So it's all right. You put Ginn Jr. on there, so but Peppers deserved to be a unanimous. It's just how it is. Loser, and this could be our last one because it's going to take a minute. Everyone involved in the NFL Players Association leadership over the past 2 years.
Oh, gosh.
Turns out they were expensing trips to gentlemen's clubs or I don't know, the strip joints.
They were.
And not only that, there's a lot of reporting done on this. You can go check it out. There's an ESPN article. Pablo Torre Finds Out. The podcast has done a few full episodes on it. There's more and more and more coming out. There's a report of basically like a low-level HR person that saw expense reports, noticing like what this is. Right? It said like they paid a driver to sit outside of a address for 7 hours from 10 a.m. until the wee hours or 10 p.m. until the wee hours of the morning, and only to drive them home. And this is like the upper leadership of the union. And this low-level person said, I don't think this is something I'm allowed to expense, and actually flagged it to leadership, and leadership was like, yeah, it's cool, even though they knew it was flagged. And now, Howell, the president, is gone, and J.C. Treader, who was the leader to be the interim, he's gone, and all of this is gone, and the Players Association looks like a fool, and all you had to do was demand more money every CBA, and you were going to be a genius.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is a rocket ship of popularity and value. All you had to do was demand more money for the players every 9 seasons when the CBA comes due, and you were going to be seen as a genius and get paid loads of money. But you couldn't get out of your own way.
I know there's also the reports of how colluding even with the owners about even suppressing contracts and things along those lines.
Suppressing the guaranteed percentage of contracts, particularly with quarterbacks, and there's a lot of smoke, meaning when there's smoke, there's fire. There's a lot of evidence and fishy stuff going around the Lamar Jackson negotiations a couple years ago.
And also he was part of a consulting group that would actually help place minority owners with teams. So it's like this is a complete conflict of interest.
There's it's everything you're saying is true. Everything you're saying is completely ridiculous that you would let it get in the way of you running the NFL Players Association. But that is the way you are. That's why you're a loser and our winners and losers. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we return, we are going to call, I believe, the winner of our Win Your Weights and Meats competition. If you're one of our 10 finalists and you're listening, have your phone on, please. One of you is going to win your weight and meat. Stick around.
Hey, Daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $749.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More, the place to go for sipping rosés with seltzers on ice. All kinds of beers with more reasons for cheers. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on all our beers and wines. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Midday temperatures upper 80s, lower 90s. Fourth straight WRAL weather alert day due to our fourth straight heat advisory. The heat index 104 or above. After 2 p.m., we'll track scattered storms before turning quieter overnight. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 20 points to 44,321. Market update brought to you by Bolton Construction Services. Bolton is actively hiring experienced HVAC techs with a $2,500 sign-on bonus. As a family-owned leader in HVAC, Bolton puts people first. Don't miss out. Apply now at boltonservice.com.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I have the privilege, the honor of awarding the winner of our Win Your Weight and Meat competition. Jackson in Apex, you are on the East Automotive Group hotline. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Jackson in Apex, you have officially won your weight in meat. Congratulations.
Let's go.
We're talking thousands of texters. 10 finalists that we called, and out of all of them, you are the randomly selected winner to win your weight in meat.
Let's go.
All right, now just for my own curiosity, what's the plan here? Are we going steaks? Are we going burgers? What's the first thing that's going to hit the grill? Or is it in the oven or whatever it's going to be?
You know, I'm a big bacon guy, but love some bacon cheeseburgers. Probably throw a few steaks in there. I don't know, man. I got to figure it out. That's a lot of meat. So.
All right, we'll start thinking because you are the winner of our Win Your Weight and Meat competition. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Go ahead and stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs. All of this, meaning the entire competition, the last few weeks where we started with a pool of thousands of texters, and we qualified it all the way down until Jackson and Apex was the winner, was presented by the NC Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Check them out online at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Beef, it's whatsfordinner.com. The winner, Jackson and Apex, will receive a gift card to First Hand Foods. First Hand Foods sells pasture-raised local meats from North Carolina farmers. Thank you to everybody that participated, by the way. I was told that we broke the record for entries. This is a kind of yearly contest that we put on, and it's fun, and it's a little bit different than what we usually do, but I am a big fan of breaking records. So all of you that texted in the keyword and participated, and especially to our 10 finalists that I assume were all waiting out by their phone at 4 o'clock today, we greatly appreciate it, and although you may not have won this time, there's always next time. And we have some more cool giveaways coming up later in the calendar that I think everyone will be excited for. With that being said, the Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan now looks towards football at 4. Football at 4 is a different stank on it, different sauce on it now that we actually have like football to talk about. We have ACC football kickoff, the media days coming up later this week. Wednesday, Thursday, we will be in Charlotte talking to your favorite coaches and players. And today, rookies report for the Carolina Panthers. Wednesday, practice starts in earnest. Rookies, veterans, the whole shebang for the Carolina Panthers. So I thought it was a really good time before we start seeing the little clips here and there of practice, before we start letting our imaginations run away with, well, what if Bryce Young were to win MVP? Before we just dive fully into the fanaticism that comes with training camp, I thought what I call a cold glass of water to the face, just a real quick glimpse at realism, let reality strike a bit here, could appropriately reset our expectations. The Panthers roster isn't going to intimidate anybody. ESPN's NFL analysts Mike Clay, Aaron Schatz, and Seth Walder got together, and they all independently ranked every roster, every lineup in the NFL. Then the staff at ESPN took their rankings and combined them, right? So, put some kind of equation on it, combined the rankings to form kind of a group preseason roster ranking, considering factors such as talent, age, and production. That's the basis of what I'm about to tell you. Now, 32 teams in the NFL. So keep that in mind when I tell you the Panthers roster came in 30th. Right above the Browns and the Saints, just a step below the Jets and the Titans. That's where the Panthers are living when you look at a roster from a talent, age, and production standpoint, which is a pretty important kind of lens to look through. Now, I say that as partially like the cold glass of water to the face, right? We had a question from a listener the other day on, is 10 wins too high of an expectation? And it's like, well, if you're doing the rose-colored glasses fan thing, go crazy. But if you're setting yourself up to not be disappointed, I think expecting 10 is setting yourself up to be bummed when they win 7 or 8 games, which I actually think is a huge success, right? I think it's important to reestablish or recalibrate your expectations. If you have the 30th best roster, you're not asking, is it okay to expect 10 wins? But I also think there are a few things that, like, if we just agree on this one small thing, if we just agree on trusting Dan Morgan and Dave Canales on this, then maybe they have the 24th best, or they keep going up. And what I mean by that is, I think the Panthers are depending a lot on individual improvement, which is something that the outsiders would not be privy to, right? If you're evaluating the Panthers like we do from the outside, or like the ESPN analyst that I talked about from the outside, look at the Panthers, there's simply things that we would not be aware of. Maybe Xavier Legette really was dealing with some serious injury stuff last year, and he played through it like a warrior, like a tough guy. We may not know that, but the coaches would. So if they're expecting Xavier Legette to be significantly better this year, just improving off of what he did last year, right? We're going to look at it and go, well, the wide receivers other than Tedero and McMillan were all here last year, and they weren't all that in a bag of potato chips. So meanwhile, the coaches are going, well, no, they're not the same as last year. They're different. They're improving. Or maybe they saw them in the offseason, or maybe they saw them in practice last year. Maybe they saw them something click at some point, right? I think if you're looking at the Panthers roster, they are depending on just individual improvement from Bryce Young, Xavier Legette, Ike Ekwonu, Damani Richardson, and Shaw Smith-Wade in the back secondary, Jatavian Sanders, Jalen Coker. Those guys just have to be better. Now, there's no reason for ESPN, the analysts looking from the outside, to watch a Xavier Legette have less than 500 yards receiving as a rookie and go, well, we project him for 1,000. But the coaches might. Right? There's no reason for them to look at Ike Ekwonu and go, well, you know what? He's going to be a much better pass blocker this year. But the coaches might. Coaches might say, hey, just being in our offense for the second year in a row will give him the comfort and the knowledge of his assignment to do a much better job. There are two ways to get better in the NFL, right? I'm talking team-wise. Two ways. One, replace players with better players. Two, take the players that are already there and make them better. That's like a roster. Obviously, you could change, scheme and coaches. I'm not saying those are the only two ways a team improves, but roster talent-wise, those are the only two ways to improve. Replace players with better players or take the players that are already there and make them better. One of those is really easy to see. Really easy to see. You go sign a gigantic free agent deal and you put that person in the starting lineup and you replace somebody that was unproductive last year, everyone watching is going to go, they're probably going to be better at that position. The Patriots signed Stephon Diggs. Last year, their best wide receiver was, at times, Kayshon Boutte. Was the Demario Douglas. If you get a healthy Stephon Diggs there, it doesn't take a genius to go, you know what? Their roster got better. It doesn't take a genius. However, if you're the some other team and you're just going, well, we didn't get a new player, but we're still much better there because we just took the players that were there and made them better, that's harder to describe until you see it. That's harder to describe. It's harder to convince until we all see it. And I think that's what the Panthers are betting on. I think the lack of urgency at certain positions tells me that's what they're betting on. I mean, there's only so many times I can say, I don't know who's going to play free safety before the Panthers look at me and go, hey, listen, we're betting on Damani Richardson to be way better. But I'm still going, I'm not going to believe it until I see it. Right? They're like, we're just going to be yelling into the void at each other forever and ever. Right? It's like, hey, you know what? I think Mike Jackson at corner left a bit to be desired last year. They're like, hey, we signed him to a 2-year extension. We're just expecting him to be better. All right, well, I'll believe it when I see it. So, I don't think with the way they operated, the Panthers have any belief that they're the 30th best roster. So, we got to give them a little benefit of the doubt, at least until we see otherwise. And before you say, no team ever thinks they have the 30th best roster, some do. Some know it. And they're the ones that, burn it down and start over.
They're the ones that are trying to have the 30th ranked roster in the NFL.
Or they're trying to take their medicine salary cap-wise, and they're like, we'll just eat a bunch of cap hits this year to free up stuff in the future. It happens. Or a new coach shows up and has the blessings of the owner to, do a 3 or 4 year rebuild, and they're like, this first year is going to hurt. There are teams that are aware they have the 30th best roster. I don't think the Panthers in their heart of hearts think they're anywhere near that. But that's because they would have to have some insider knowledge that we just can't have on the outside. I'm not going to bank on Xavier Legette having a massive improvement until I see him play massively better. I'm not going to bank on Ike Ekwonu being a bookend left tackle, pass protector, blindside protector for an undersized quarterback until I see him battle against the best edge rushers in the league and not give up pressures and hurries and sacks and quarterback hits. Those guys just have to be better. And all of the players that I mentioned, they just have to improve individually. And by the way, at some point you do have to make those bets. Not everybody is going to be Jaden Daniels straight out of the draft is fully formed. If you draft someone, even if they start slow, if you still like their mental makeup and their physical abilities and their personalities, sometimes you just have to go, no, I'm banking that they will be better in the future than they are now. We don't have to go improve our roster in that spot. We just have to be patient and keep working with them.
And overall, the guys that are asking to be top guys right away are relatively young still when you look at it. Because you mentioned Bryce Young's in his third year. Ike Ekwonu, whom you just mentioned, is on the fourth year of his contract. Xavier Legette, second-year player. Tyrell McMillan, rookie. Jalen Coker, second-year player. JT Sanders, second-year player. Mitchell Evans, first-year player. I mean, that's all just on the offensive side of things. Guys that are going to be relied upon heavily. They're still super young overall.
The Saints' projected starting quarterback will be a rookie in Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
He is 2 years older than Bryce Young going into his third year with the Carolina Panthers. So they are younger. And, by the way, I would expect younger guys to have more room between where they are now and their ceiling, right? I'd be much less enthused if they're like, we're just banking on this 31-year-old to find the other level. This 34-year-old is due to really take a step up. I'd be like, they might be what they are, right? They are what they are at this point. That's not the case for some Panthers. At least it better not be. Because if those guys don't improve, then 30th might be generous. I don't know. The only teams that are above are the Browns and the Saints. I don't know. Could be a gap there between those two and everybody else.
Yeah.
Still, being below the Titans hurts.
Yeah, I know, for real.
Must be
really? It's like, what? Who do the Titans have?
A lot of heavy lifting by Cam Ward. Must be.
I guess.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the ladder challenge coming up. My aggressiveness did not pay off, but still plenty of time left in July. Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
Everybody in Duke's starting five that made the Final Four got drafted. 3 of them in the top 10. Cooper Flagg 1, Konkadipple 4, Kamon Malawach went 10. Sion James and Tyrese Proctor also drafted. And I keep hearing, how did they not win the title? How did they not even make it to Monday night? Carolina had Jamison and Carter and didn't make it to the championship game 2 years in a row. It's sports.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive's AutoQuote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's AutoQuote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So it is time for the ladder challenge. On Friday, I had a nice little lead, and I decided to get aggressive, and I decided to pick on Brandon Pfadt, Pfaadt, pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was near the league lead in most home runs allowed per 9 innings, so I picked a couple of guys on the Cardinals, said one of these guys are going to hit a home run, and if that happened, I would have had a massive lead, and I could have played strategically to the end of the month. Well, credit to Brandon Pfadt, however you pronounce his last name. He threw a gem. 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 6 Ks.
Nice.
Cost me my $50 that I was betting there. So I'm back down to 10. Dennis, how did it go for you over the weekend?
I had Aaron Judge to hit a home run, and he didn't.
All right, so we're both.
So that's how it worked out.
All right, starting over. Back to square one for the both of us. I'm feeling generous. You go ahead and lead off.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the well of, guys hitting home runs because why not, right? Give me Aaron Judge tonight taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Aaron Judge to hit a home run plus 180. So my $10 will turn into 28.
I mean, he's hitting a lot of home runs, but plus 180 to hit a home run is absurd.
It is kind of
way to go, Aaron. I'm going to the WNBA. I was on air and watching the WNBA All-Star Game over the weekend, and Nafisa Collier was a monster. She broke the All-Star Game scoring record, and I've done some weird digging into the WNBA collective bargaining situation. They wore shirts at the All-Star Game that said, pay us what you owe us, whole thing going on there. Collier's one of the leaders, one of the kind of main people. She's involved with Unrivaled, the competitive league, and all these other things. So I think she's playing well is something that she'll take put quite an aggressive play on to make sure that all of these movements stay basically momentumful, if that's a term. So I'm taking Nafisa Collier to score 25 or more points against the Chicago Sky tonight. Plus 155, turn my $10 into $25.50. I think she scored 36 in the All-Star game. It's got to be easier to score in a regular season game, right?
Of course, duh.
They play so much defense in All-Star games, and I'm looking for 11 less points. So 25 plus. That's what I'm looking for from Nafisa Collier. That's how it stands. We'll see who's ahead tomorrow. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9, the Fan Ladder Challenge complete. Let's look towards the ACC football season, shall we? As I've been saying throughout the show, Wednesday and Thursday show of this week will be live from Charlotte out there at ACC Kickoff. The ACC Kickoffs start tomorrow, but the teams that we most closely cover don't show up until Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll probably have some audio from maybe the Commissioner, Jim Phillips, statements. But we will actually be in Charlotte on Wednesday and Thursday. Looking forward to it. But it's also kind of time now, which is surprising, right? There is a time where your roster is what it is. College rosters, more so than ever before, are like these living, breathing organisms that can constantly change because of the transfer portal and opt-outs and everything else. But they are what they are now. And I found this stat buried within a bigger article that is fascinating to me. NC State and UNC, right? State and Carolina, the rivals, are going into this year in wildly different places in a bunch of ways, but one specifically. State is currently rostering. I don't know how to employing, but not really. We're not allowed to say that. They are currently rostering the second most starts among returning players in the ACC. So their players have either at State or at a previous school before transferring to State have started 212 games in college football. That is behind only Clemson, who has 229. And Clemson's been building towards this year for a while, and they don't really play the transfer game. They did a little bit this offseason, but up till now, almost not at all. So Clemson, 229. State is second in the conference at 212. Next closest Pitt, 186. Stanford 156. Like, it drops pretty aggressively. Duke and BC tied at 150. That's kind of how it goes. UNC, Tar Heels, Bill Belichick, that program are second fewest in starts on their roster with 83. Only Virginia Tech has less with 65.
I think Gio Lopez has, a dozen of those starts, roughly?
And they would be at South Alabama.
Yeah.
And actually, the quarterback room might have, because Max Johnson has started at a few different places and then got one with UNC. So there might be, a fourth of those coming just from the quarterbacks, and one of them won't be starting. So the point made here is it might be a little bit unusual or unpredictable. Not what we predicted is the way to put it. North Carolina may have some growing pains from a alignment assignment standpoint, which is super unusual considering Bill Belichick is their coach and he's do your job. And right, it's all about alignments and assignments, and it's all about hammering home all of that. But there is one thing about knowing your assignment in practice, knowing your assignment in the meeting room, and then it's a completely different beast when you get out there on a college game field and you have to have the same amount of recall. The first couple of times you do it, some people, it's no big deal. Some, their brain's bouncing off their skull at 1,000,000 miles a minute, and it takes them 2, 3, 4 games before they settle in. Again, I'll use the exact same kind of verbiage I used earlier, right? With the Carolina Panthers depending on so many rookies, I have never heard an NFL coach say, I'm so excited to have so many rookies on my two-deep. I've never heard a college coach go, ooh, boy, so many people in my starting lineup have never played before. You just don't hear it, right? And the reason being is you trust the ones that have been there, that have been through the battles, that have faced adversity, that have overcome it, that have made in-game adjustments. Because I'll tell you right now, the first time it happens, it is a harrowing experience. When you go through an entire offseason, when you go through an entire training camp, when you build around, especially on offense, like your bread and butter, right? Our running game with this style of run and this running back, that's our bread and butter. And your play actions are off of that. And you're like, everything is built off of that. And then in the first quarter, that running game's got -4 yards. And your coach is like, all right, we're going to pivot. Here's what we're going to do. It's like, wait a minute. That's everything we've been working on was built around that, right? And you just got to be able to pivot on a dime. Or vice versa. Have the coach go, no, we're not pivoting. We're gonna trust it. We're gonna keep landing these body blows, and eventually we're gonna snap one off. Even that's a bit like, really? Coach, we went 3 and out on 3 of our first drives. We're not gonna change anything? And they're like, no, trust it. Experience is valuable. So if I'm concerned about a team with less experience, or if I think there will be growing pains for a team with less experience, I would expect the Carolina Tar Heels to be significantly better at the end of this year than at the beginning as they gain that experience and gain those starts. Wouldn't that tell us to be higher on the team with a whole bunch of starts returning?
You would think.
There's a term, and I don't know if this might just be in my little bubble because I'm a fantasy football nerd, but it may have spread to other areas of sports. It's post-hype sleeper. A post-hype sleeper is somebody who last year was super hyped, and thus when they didn't have a crazy season, an unbelievably good season, it was a very, very big disappointment. So then the next year, everybody is extremely leery and sometimes even preventing themselves from being excited about that team or that player. Even if a lot of the reasons why you thought they were good last year still apply to this year, and there may have been something else artificially that didn't make it work last year, right? In fantasy football, it would be like if you thought a running back had all the skills, all the speed, all the everything, and then they go into the year and their 2 guards get hurt, so they have a bad season, then the next year no one is willing to draft that running back. But in actuality, it's like, actually, you get a steal now because they're both their guards are back, and without the 2 backup guards in, they could be great again. State could be a post-hype sleeper. Because remember last year, Last year, everybody was super high on him. Why? They had Noah Rogers, 5-star receiver, coming in. Hollywood Smothers, Oklahoma running back, coming in. They had Justin Jolie, the number 1 tight end in the portal, coming in. They had Grayson McCall, one of the top quarterbacks, coming in. They had Zeke Correll, a 2-year starter at Notre Dame, coming in and playing offense. They had all of these transfers coming in. And guess what? I think that was kind of part of their struggle, was they had all this talent coming in, but it was all brand new. They were all coming from different offenses. They were all coming in maybe with different expectations on who was going to be the centerpiece, right? I'm going to get the ball. No, I'm going to get the ball. No, I'm going to get the ball. And then Grayson McCall got hurt so early that it became very much like, never mind, we're going to all hands on deck for C.J. Bailey and changing it there. And it never really gelled. So now this year, because they won 6 games last year and didn't close with the wins that they wanted to and all of these things, everybody's afraid to almost be excited about him. But guess what? Noah Rogers is still a former 5-star recruit. Justin Jolie, if he hit the portal, I still think would be the number 1 tight end in the portal. So it's not like his value went away. Hollywood Smothers got better as the season went along. C.J. Bailey, I think you should be as excited for as you would have been for Grayson McCall last year, if not more. And they're bringing 212 starts. You're not going to surprise them, right? You're not going to and more of those starts together than they would have been last year, which that chemistry is important. I think there's a world where they are a post-hype sleeper where you may not have been wrong on them. You may have been early, right? They assembled all that talent last offseason, and now everyone's like, well, it didn't work last year. Maybe it took a year. Maybe you just had to water it a bit more, get it some more sun, and next season it'll bloom.
Well, I think you said the key thing there is that starts together. Because it's one thing to have starting experience from all these different places. Like you just don't know how the pieces are truly going to fit until they get together. And you don't have preseason games to figure out. You don't have scrimmages against other teams to figure it out, which is actually kind of a thing that I know we're going to talk about Carolina here in a second, is that Bill Belichick has a lot of guys with not a whole lot of starting experience that are going to be coming together, and he doesn't have the games to figure it out. He's got to do it on the fly. State can actually, especially with their coordinator hires being promotions from within, it's people that know the players know them. It should hopefully, if you're an NC State fan, should hopefully be a better season than what you had this past year, for sure. At
least more jointed, right? The opposite of disjointed. Yeah. If you don't win this year, I don't think it's because, it just took you a while to gel. Right, if you don't win this year, it's talent, scheme, and the things that we most often associate with not winning.
Then you're looking at changes.
Exactly.
Big changes.
Last year, I do think you can put part of it on they just met. They just got to know each other. This year, you're bringing an experience back. You're bringing a lot of talent back. It's the same guys that you were so excited about last year, but now they have a year in your system. It's time to roll. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, you brought up preseason. You brought up the ability for young guys to work their way into a system and have success and gel and everything else. Were you talking about the Charlotte Hornets? Were you talking about the Summer League champion Charlotte Hornets? It's not preseason, but Summer League has some vibes of preseason. In that the young guys are taking all the reps and the veterans are watching and you can learn the system and build your confidence and get comfortable. Hornets are Summer League champs. 4th overall pick, Con Knipple from right here in the Triangle out of Duke. He is the Summer League championship game MVP. 21 points. Dagger three-pointer. Final minute, close game. Con Knipple said, ball game over the Sacramento Kings in the championship game. I said this earlier. A lot of times, Summer League, it's almost like who wants it most wins, right? Whichever team is putting the most effort into it. Because I don't want to say this out loud, but I'm going to say it quickly, and we're going to acknowledge it's true, and we're going to move on and get back to irrationally celebrating the Summer League championship. Because the Summer League doesn't actually matter. Some teams will prioritize other things over winning, right? It may not be we're going to play our top pick the most minutes. It may be we're going to play him 10 minutes just to get him reps in the pick and roll because maybe we want him to be a better ball handler in the pick and roll, and that's it. And then other teams are trying to build a winning culture. Some teams want everybody in that locker room to know what it's like to be in a one-possession game with a minute left and pedal to the floor trying to win and have Concanipple or whoever is your best player on your summer league team rise up and knock down that shot because your franchise has been one that doesn't have a history of winning. So you want everybody to show up and win. It's the same argument I get in every single year. I do think at times in professional sports, a version of tanking is appropriate. Okay? Now, you never, ever, ever tank with players. You never, ever, ever tank with coaches. But you can with the front office, right? If you look at your roster and you say, if we make every decision here to win, we go sign the veterans to win now, we maximize, we make every scheme to ugly the game up and try to win a gross game every game, we could be, realistically, the 7th worst team in the league. If everything goes right, we could be the 8th worst team in the league. I look at you and go, well, if the best you can do is 8th worst team in the league, be the worst, right? Trade away the vets, play the young guys. From a front office standpoint, give a roster that will lose. And people yell at me. Well, that's going to ruin the culture. You're going to teach guys to lose. And I'm going, listen, most of them ain't going to be around when you're trying to win anyway. But also, it's more important to get better talent in there, and then you can change the culture by bringing in leading veterans and coaches and everything else. But if I'm the Hornets, maybe this is the time. Maybe you're looking at your core, and you have LaMelo, and you have Brandon Miller, and now you have Concanipple and Liam McNeely and the new rookies, and you're looking at them and going, all right, now if things break our way, we're not the 8th worst team in the league, right? If things break our way and they go well, we'll have multiple all-stars, and we could squeak into the playoffs or into the play-in games and give somebody a run. Now it's about building that winning culture. Now it's about making sure everybody knows how to win those close games. Now it's about that. So what's the first order of business? Let's go win a summer league trophy. Let's go up the stakes. Let's make it important to win in the summer league. And they did it. And they did it. Now, I don't think, other teams with better cultures at their NBA level cared as much about winning that trophy. But that's irrelevant because the Hornets did. They set out to achieve a goal, and they found a way to do it. And Knipple was the leader emotionally and on the floor. The guy played through injuries in Summer League. Think about that. There are a ton of players that would play through injuries in Summer League, by the way. Those that need to earn their roster spot.
Guys that are even just trying to make a G League team.
Guys that are looking for, like, they're not even just playing for the team that they're playing for, right? They're trying to put together good tape to get picked up by a different team. They will scratch and claw, and if they sprain an ankle, they'll limp through a pick and roll. They'll do whatever they got to do. Concanipple is the 4th overall pick with guaranteed multi-million-dollars a year. There is a 0% chance he isn't in the lineup for the first NBA game next year. And he still played through injuries in Summer League. And he still was out there wearing, in his terms, a ridiculous headband because he had a gash above his eye that they just patched up, right? Figured out a way to get it to stop bleeding and send me back out there. That's kind of tone setting, culture setting for a Hornets team that maybe for the first time in a long time is all in on, like, hey, let's go win games. We want guys that know how to win at the end.
I mentioned this when the draft was happening last month for the NBA, for the Charlotte Hornets. I felt like they raised the floor of their franchise. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much the ceiling grew, but this team needed to raise its floor a little bit. We even saw last year that LaMelo Ball got benched at times because of work ethic, even on the defensive side of the ball. Like, okay, you're not going to work over there. You can sit over here. And that's a franchise face that message is being sent to. Now you bring in guys that at least, again, I don't know how much the summer league is going to translate to the regular season this year. Probably not. But if you want to build, like you mentioned, the culture of your team, it all starts with mentality. It really is.
I don't know if we'll see the impact of this summer league in wins and losses.
No, you probably won't.
I do think you'll see the impact of the players that were on this summer league that are also going to be on the NBA roster. Mostly the 4 drafted rookies. I don't know if we'll see a ton of the other guys on the big league club very often. But I don't think it's a coincidence that they brought in 4 guys with some winning. And like Liam McNeely, high school national champion, goes to UConn, a program that wins a bunch, and played for Dan Hurley, then goes to the Hornets.
Got coached hard by Dan Hurley. We saw it up close and in person.
Yeah, we did.
A couple times.
2 guys that came from Duke, and then Ryan Kalkbrenner from Creighton, who was a 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, played his way into an All-American. Like, I do think those 4 guys, I'm not saying they're going to be, the only personal examples I have of this is if a freshman walked into a college football locker room and worked absurdly hard, there would be some seniors and juniors that would be like, relax, the teacher's pet, right? Relax. Okay, buddy, Mr. Work Hard. But guess what else would happen? You weren't going to lose to that freshman in a sprint, right? You weren't going to have less weight on your bar than that freshman's. You were going to do everything you could to beat them. So the good seniors, the good leaders would go up to that freshman and say, hey, keep kicking their tail. I don't care what they say, right? Raise the level in this room. So if there were NBA stars at on the big league club, right, on the Hornets last year, and these 4 guys come in from winning programs that are busting their tail even in summer league, there may be some like, hey, man, relax, second rounder, right, to Sion James and Kalkbrenner. And then hopefully there's somebody else, a coach, a veteran with a little bit more experience going, no, don't calm down. Make them reach your level rather than you getting to what they're used to. And again, could drive wedges in personal friendships, maybe won't impact winning and losing this year, but that's the transition losing teams have to make. You have to have the hard conversations. You have to find a way to win. And, in the scheme of things, Summer League doesn't matter. But in the arbitrary, theoretical, intangible, maybe it is a sign of things to come. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Gordon Miller has been doing no closing cost loans since 1987. Do you know what that means? That means Gordon has done no closing cost loans in every different kind of market. Rates are high, rates are low, rates are volatile, every different kind of political climate, every different kind of everything climate. Gordon Miller's been there giving no closing cost loans. And I emphasize that, and Miller Lending has as well. I emphasize that for this reason. Sometimes rates get lower, right? And we had one of these periods of time a handful of years ago where rates dropped. And then all of a sudden, brokers and lenders everywhere are offering no closing cost loans. Rates go up just a tad, and suddenly those offers go away. They don't for Miller Lending. Miller Lending is always interested in saving you money out of your pocket. No means no. Zero means zero. No third-party fees, no surcharges, no costs, no closing costs of any kind, no matter what the market is, which is nice, knowing that you can always refinance with no cost, no fees. You can always count on Miller Lending. The number to call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, once the ACC Media Days kick off on Wednesday for us, tomorrow for the entire conference, we kind of lose the time of the show to have the arguments, the debates about the Carolina Hurricanes until they start entering into their preseason and getting ready. So I have a Canes debate for you involving Seth Jarvis that we're going to get out of our system when we return. Don't go anywhere.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Are the Detroit Lions really as close as we think they are?
Yeah, I think the Detroit Lions are right there. And I believe in the culture that head coach Dan Campbell has built in the Motor City. Yeah, I think the Detroit Lions are going to be right there again, vying for NFC supremacy. And I think this is one of the best teams in all of football.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Is your heating and air system handling the hot weather okay? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Brought to you by Texas Roadhouse. Save $10 on tickets with a savings coupon from participating Texas Roadhouse locations. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See savings coupon for details. Coming to Lenovo Center this weekend.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Longer days mean longer rides. Make sure your bike, your ATV, your side-by-side, even your golf cart are the best around. From Sound Station and Security, we've got custom stereo systems, custom speakers, even video and LED lighting options for your bike, your ATV, and even your golf cart. Look the coolest on the road or at the lake, just tooling around. All available with installation from Sound Station and Security, with 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
Well, we haven't gotten the official call on Sam Bennett, but the Canes on the power play. Stokan out in front to Jarvis. They score. A big power play goal for Carolina to maybe get a little bit of life here.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we open up a Canes debate, text keyword soccer, SOCCER, to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to any NC Courage home game at First Horizon Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park. How about that? You don't even have to clear your schedule. Any home game, so you get to pick the one around your schedule. Again, the keyword is soccer, SOCCER, to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to any NC Courage home game. Now that I've given you the chance to win some sweet tickets, I'll admit this. There are portions of the calendar where your sports debates can live on, right? You can start a debate on a Tuesday and you don't see that person again till Friday. You're still hot on the subject. Then there are points in the calendar where if you start a debate on Tuesday, you go home, you're watching a game Tuesday night, you got another game Wednesday, you got Thursday night football on Thursday. By Friday, you're like, I'm sorry, there's high school football tonight. What are you talking about? Completely forget it, right? We are about to enter into one of those segments of the calendar where there's college football, NFL football, before you know it, college basketball. Before you know it, Canes hockey. Like it all just boom, 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 boom. So we're not going to have as much time for the quirky, fun debates. So I'm going to squeeze a couple into today and tomorrow's show to make sure we have those chances. Let's start with the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina Hurricanes' Seth Jarvis is nearly 100% approval rating right now. Like you talk to Canes fans, they love the guy. If you even talk to fans of other teams that don't like the Canes, they kind of do the yeah but for Jarvis.
Yeah, I like that guy.
It's like, no, your team's so this and it doesn't have that, and then in the postseason this. But I do like Jarvis. Jarvis is okay. Like, and those are the ones that like the rivals teams. Sure, it would be nice to have Jarvis on the squad, but other than that, it's just kind of brutal. So then I'm on social media over the weekend, scrolling a little bit, and I start to see the NHL and its spinoffs are working hard to work Seth Jarvis into their promotional material. NHL.com put out their best forwards under the age of 25, Seth Jarvis 9th. NHL Fantasy, the official NHL Fantasy account, ranked him as the number 1 fantasy player 23 years of age or under in the Metropolitan Division. Boom, put his picture on a graphic, send it out. NHL PR, the official NHL PR, has NHL Young Stars Week. They decided to highlight Jarvis with a graphic and a stat. Jarvis owns the most multi-assist games with 4 and multi-point outings with 11 in the Stanley Cup playoffs by a Kane or Whaler before turning 24. And it got me thinking. There are definitely professional athletes that are more famous, that are more talked about, that are seen even as better than they actually are because of their personalities, because they're likable, because they're fun, sometimes quirky, and at least pretty good. Right? I don't know why, and this is no disrespect to the player. Max Homa in the golf world comes across that way. He's very good at social media. He's very good with a quip. He's good on YouTube videos, and he's ranked like 98th in the world right now. But he's grouped in. Like, he's often playing in majors, like alongside Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas, because he draws people, and he's seen as better. So my question for Seth Jarvis is he fun and quirky and pretty good? Or is he superstar material? Either way, he's a long-term part of the Canes core. Either way, he's seems like a great dude, hard worker, plays through injuries. But I'm kind of asking, what's his ceiling? Right? Is this a guy that is 60 points every year, 30 goals every year, and that's what he is? Or is there some higher ceiling that he can attain and or chase as he grows into his prime? Because, as those stats would tell you, 23 years old, still super young. And that's the other thing that maybe his kind of reputation is getting away from. Because is he entering his 5th season in the NHL now? Which seems crazy, but remember last year when Nikishin and Morrow were being thrust into postseason positions, and they kept asking him, like, what is it like for a young guy to be thrown in? And he's like, dude, I'm like 9 months older than that guy.
Yeah, I think Nikishin might be older than Jarvis.
What do you think? I'm 40? He kept saying that. What makes you think I'm 40? Like, he is younger, so there's definitely on-ramp for him to get better. The question is, how much better? The question is, are you looking at a superstar or at an above-average, trustworthy player that's going to be around for a long time?
I think you're looking at a 40-goal, 80-point guy. I'm talking legit face of the Canes franchise in the next 2 years, where people look at the Canes logo and they go, oh, yeah, Seth Jarvis.
More so, I mean, obviously within 2 years, that's not like Aho's out of his prime. Mm-hmm. You think there is a catch and passing there? Because right now, Aho is that guy, right? Like when you're talking to a casual fan of a West Coast team and they think of the Canes, they go, all right, well, you got Sebastian Aho. What else? Like, that's kind of their vibe. You think there is a catching of Aho and a passing of Aho by Seth Jarvis?
I think there's a reason why the NHL, for their Amazon Prime video thing that they did with the whole season inside look at the NHL, I can't remember the exact name of it, chose Seth Jarvis. There's a reason why.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, Face Off. On Amazon. There's a reason why he was chosen, is because he has the personality, but they also see him like, well, this guy's now has 2 30-plus goal seasons back-to-back and still only 23 years old, and everything that goes with it, and is still only getting better. Not only is he a great scorer, but he's also great on the defensive end as well, which hockey people love. Mm-hmm. And I think you are going to see it to the point where as he continues to grow as a player, and especially if you have another superstar playing or superstar caliber scorer and Nikolai Ehlers playing with him and Aho, those numbers should only continue to go up. And again, only 23 years old. This guy literally is going to be one of the faces of the NHL going forward. If you actually look at when the Final Four was happening, I guess you can say this past year, the conference championships were taking place.
We're such a college basketball market.
I know, we really are. But when the conference final were taking place for both the Eastern and Western Conference, they would have a graphic of one player from each team on there, like TNT or ESPN would have it. You know who the player that was up there for the Carolina Hurricanes? It was Seth Jarvis. Jarvis was the player, not Aho, not Stahl, not Slavin. It was Jarvis.
There's no doubt in my mind he is marketable as all get out. I also think if he tops out at 65 or 68 career points, he's still marketable as hell because of everything else he brings, right? The mustache, the jokes, the laughs, like that is going to make him a likable player. There's actually, I'll relate one personality part of it that I think helps him. I think it's really important that money, that success, that fame doesn't change you. And the thing about his lightheartedness or whatever is when he was the 19, 20-year-old that was being thrust in, that was him. And then he got paid and he scored 30 goals in back-to-back years and he became the guy that's on all the promotions that Dennis is talking about, and he's still him. I think that's important for somebody that's going to continue to rise. The ones that change always seem like, ooh, I don't like that, right? I like the ones who are very, very, not saying you never mature or anything. Like you don't always have to be, acting goofy, but you can tell when like the money or the fame changed somebody. He hasn't done that. The other thing I'm interested in, and this feeds into all of it, this is the stuff that we won't be able to do once football's going on. Does he get a shot at center? Does he get a shot to play a little center? I am reluctant to expect it, but I can tell you right now, just the fact that I brought it up, the social medias will become active with it, because if he does that, it opens up, A, a completely different level of impact, but B, maybe it does lower his, scoring total or whatever else because he's being asked to do all these other things. The interesting part of Seth Jarvis is there's still so many different ways his career can go. Right. The interesting part is there's still so many different ways he can choose to develop and what he prioritizes. I'm still up in the air on will we ever see this guy play with two good shoulders? Will that impact anything? Will he have the surgery? Will it not? I don't pretend to be a medical expert, so I have no clue. But if he's put the last 2 years together with a shoulder that was giving him trouble, I do really want to see what he would do with two good shoulders. Right. I think he's on track to be a superstar. I hope that the upward arrow that he has is matched by someone like Sebastian Aho. So perhaps, Seth Jarvis is a superstar and he's still seen as maybe not the face of the franchise because this other guy has been raising with him. And, if he puts together an 80-point season, maybe that's the year Aho puts the 95-point season that's been eluding him together. Maybe Ehlers puts it all together with more time and keeps his efficiency. Like, I think Jarvis and all three of them really, or actually at least Aho and Jarvis, and I hope Ehlers, they are the types that if they play really well, the guys around them will benefit as well. So it's going to be tough to pass somebody in that line because they're all worried about making sure the others improve at the same level. But I don't think it's just the personality. I think the personality, will get him a couple more commercials. Brent Burns isn't here. Maybe, Seth and Spence from the water company will be out there, right? Maybe that's where the personality gets him a few extra doubloons in his pocket. But from a hockey standpoint, I think he's maybe better than everybody else, and the casual fans think he is, even though they like him because they're the funny guy rather than the two-way forward that can score a ton of shorthanded goals and defends his position unbelievably. Like, I think actually it might be an overshadowed situation the other way. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Do you know what we might do tomorrow? Kind of our last day for the hockey ridiculous conversations.
What's that?
We might have to drop the lines. Like top to bottom.
Oh, okay.
Who's skating
we're there?
Who's skating offhanded on the blue line? We might have to do the whole kit and caboodle. Just because we won't have time for it once football starts. And it's so fun. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting five coming up next. champions were crowned over the weekend. Stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
Baseball showed it can be fun. A throwback to being a kid with a backyard sudden death home run competition, breaking the tie and ending the All-Star game. No pitch clocks, no bigger bases, just dudes swinging hard for the fences. All it needed was my mom to yell out, "Hey, you got school in the morning. Get home now."
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Fill your tank. Don't drain your wallet. Sam's Club lets you save time at the pump with Scan and Go checkout at Sam's Club fuel stations. Just scan the QR code on the pump and pay. Visit your local Sam's Club today.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. A hot afternoon with some hit and miss showers and storms for the rest of the day. Temperatures are in the mid-90s, the heat index in the triple digits. A few showers early tonight. Temperatures will get down into the mid-70s, and then it's partly cloudy and not as hot Tuesday with a high of 88.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell down 19 points to 44,323.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Before we get into our starting five, shout out to Jackson in Apex. He won our Win Your Weight and Meat competition earlier today. Presented by the NC Beef Council. I asked him what his plans were with it. He was overwhelmed. He was like, I don't know, I like bacon, I like burgers, I like steaks. I got to do some planning here. The best news is when you win your weight in meat, you can do it all. Bacon could just be the topping on all the other selection. Bacon cheeseburger, you throw bacon on a steak, you can throw bacon on whatever you want. Make some kebabs. a lot of different options there. Win your weight in meat. It's pretty sweet. Thank you to everybody that participated, by the way. If you weren't listening earlier, I said this once, I'll say it again. We broke the record for entries. We do this kind of once a year, and it's always exciting to break records. Literal thousands and thousands of you sent in the keyword. We limited it to 10 finalists, and then Jackson and Apex ended up being the big winner. But thank you for participating. It's always fun, and, potentially you could have won your weight in meat. And we do have, I don't know what I'm allowed to say ever, we do have some cool giveaways coming up here for the rest of the calendar. I don't think I'm allowed to kind of keep you guys in the loop on them because, I don't know, red tape and paperwork.
Things can happen. You never know.
But keep it tuned is all I'll say. Keep listening to The Drive on afternoons, and you'll have your opportunity to win some pretty cool things, just like Jackson and Apex did earlier today. Now let's start with our starting five, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Shot clock down to 7. Simpson around the screen. Fires to Knippel. 3 on the way. It's gone. Con Knippel makes it a 4-point game.
The Charlotte Hornets are Summer League champs.
The Charlotte Hornets.
And Con Knippel is the Summer League championship game MVP. You just heard him hit the dagger. That was the 3 that sealed it. I mentioned this actually just going from game 1 for Con Knippel to game 3, and that this doesn't even include the championship game. The games that he appeared in Summer League, I had already declared Summer League did its purpose. It fulfilled its job for Con Knippel, because I think the point mostly for Summer League is to get the players that are going from college to the pros or going from the G League to potentially making an NBA roster, get them as comfortable as you can. And it was very obvious in game 1, Con Knippel was not comfortable for whatever reason, right? Pulse was beating a little fast. He had the NBA logo on his jersey for the first time. Whatever, he was, maybe he was uncomfortable with the system they were running. I don't know. But it was obvious he wasn't comfortable. By his 3rd game, comfort through the roof, right? He was throwing no-look, 2-hand over-the-head passes as he fell out of bounds, and they were dimes that led to easy layups for his teammate. He was pulling up with a hand in his face, and the announcer was saying, "Oh, he's going to shoot that? Oh, good." Like, that is what happened. So then you get to the Summer League championship game, and, well, it just doubles down, right? He's the most comfortable guy on the floor. He's playing back at his own pace. It is funny because we're going to have already seen it because we followed him at Duke here in the Triangle. The exact same conversations. Exactly. Because when you watch Con Knippel play, you're not sure if he can't be explosive or if he's choosing to play slow, if that makes any sense. Because he'll if he gets a step on you, instead of doing like the SGA thing where he's like, I'm going to accelerate to the bucket and you're never going to catch up, he like cuts you off. And now he's got you on the backside, and it's kind of from the same tree, the genetic tree of like a James Harden and a Luka Doncic. Now, you're pretty confident those guys, at least early in their careers, could still dunk on you. Con Knippel, it's like, can he? But does it matter? I don't know. It's like he's not dribbling fast, but for some reason the defender just took a step back and gave him enough room to shoot it. Like, do I care? And at Duke, I went through it, right? The first couple of games, you're like, I don't know, he's getting open, but it doesn't seem like that should work. And then by like the 10th game, you're like, nah, the dude gets open. I don't care. You're going to hear it in the NBA because the same thing happened in Summer League. It's like, there's the defenders are bigger and faster, but they're still, for some reason, 2 steps off him as he takes a 3. It's going to work. I'll put it that way. I don't know if he'll ever be like an all-star leading a team number 1 option, but it's going to work. That's number 5. Let's hit number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together. What?
The American Athletic Conference is no more.
Yep, don't know who they are. Who's that?
They lost their athleticism.
Yeah, they did.
They dropped athletic from their name. The AAC is now the American Conference, or they said they will approve of being called just the American.
Yeah, the American. I mean, a lot of people, including myself, like, yeah, the American. It's easier than AAC.
This is one of those things where I'm sure some branding, marketing service, consultancy got a whole bunch of money to tell them to do this. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze. I mean, now everybody's got to pay for new logo, trademark stickers on their basketball gyms, and they got to go change the fields with turf, and it's like, I'm a recruit. I wasn't going to commit to the American Athletic Conference, but I'll commit to the American Conference. And oh, by the way, they designed a new logo, or not a new logo, a new mascot. It's an eagle. The American Conference is the eagle mascot.
I've never known a conference to have a mascot.
Neither did I. But again, when you pay a marketing agency to do something, they got to come up with something, right? Got to stay busy.
What's the ACC mascot?
What would it be?
Yeah.
Huh. That's good. What would the Atlantic Coast Conference mascot? Of the last couple of years, it would probably be like a cartoon-ish lawyer.
Okay.
Right? Just to warn Florida State and Clemson not to get too crazy.
A few strong law schools here in the ACC, let's be honest.
There you go. I mean, if we're being honest, it's not even the coast anymore. Right? Because I was thinking it's all right, the coast got to be something beach-related, maybe some sea life, but then I'm like, wait a second, we got SMU. We got West Coast. I don't know what the ACC logo would be, or mascot would be.
I don't know. Interesting question. We could debate it later.
Something. Now the wheels are cranking. I do think it's funny that they dropped the athletic. What are you're just slower now? No longer athletes?
I guess not. Just the American Conference.
You know what else they should do?
What's that?
They should drop the student from student athlete.
They should do that too. No jokes there.
The employee. That's number 4. Let's hit number 3. All right. Debate in the streets. A lot of jokes being had. The WNBA. The players and the league are heading towards CBA negotiations, and things are hostile. They had a meeting. Whole bunch of the players showed up. Negotiations didn't go the way they'd want. And the All-Stars, WNBA All-Star game was over the weekend. They wore shirts during warm-ups that said, "Pay us what you owe us." Thus the jokes, right? Because the easy joke is the WNBA had their best year last year financially ever, and the league lost $40 million. So pay us what you owe us. Well, you actually owe us if you divide it up like $200,000 each. So, haha, right? By the way, I don't know what they should be paid, okay? I don't pretend to be any kind of a business expert. I've never owned a business. I've never had an employee. I've always had someone else signing my checks, so keep that in mind. However, I do think there's a lot of people taking a weird victory lap here, and I just want to pass some facts your way, okay? This is 100% one of those deals where it's like, I've never owned a business, but I've watched more episodes of Shark Tank than you have, so I know a little bit about entrepreneurship. There are businesses all across the country, startups, tech startups, every different kind, that the business is worth a ton of money before they turn a profit. Okay? There's a few ways this can happen. One, if you have a easy path towards profitability that you can explain, you can charge huge amounts of money for your business. 2, if there's something in the future, like a order that guarantees you profitability. I've seen it all the time. Again, Shark Tank, where they're like, well, we've made this gadget. This gadget is going to solve this problem, and we would like you to invest 10%, or in order to buy 10%, we want $10 million. And they go, do you have sales? And they go, no. But I do have a purchase order from Walmart or Bed Bath & Beyond or whatever for 50 million units to be filled the next 6 months. And they're like, oh, in that case, I'm in. Here's my money. The WNBA is going to be profitable in a big way next year. They lost $50 million last year. They're going to be profitable in a big way next year. Do you know why? Because they already signed an 11-year, $2.2 billion media deal. 11-year, $2.2 billion. You know what else is happening? Do you know how much Mark Davis bought the Las Vegas Aces for? He bought the Aces. The Aces are a WNBA team. They're very good. They have 3-time MVP Asia Wilson. In 2021, Mark Davis, who also owns the Raiders, bought the Aces for $2 million. Do you know how much Forbes values the Aces at today? $400 million. But yeah, sorry, the league as a whole lost $40 million last year. One individual owner in value, granted it's paper money, but in value made significantly more than that each year of the last 4. And on top of that, do you know how much it costs for an expansion franchise in the WNBA now? You got to pay $250 million.
It's a good amount of money.
You know how many expansion franchises they have coming?
What's that?
At least 3 and likely 5.
Yeah, there's one in 2028, 29, and 2030. There's 3 coming.
And there's still not one in Houston, which is one of the biggest markets and one of the longest WNBA or women's professional league histories with the Houston Comets from back in the day. There's more coming. That's just a check. Huge every time a new team shows up.
Bring back the Charlotte Sting.
There was a movement for them, but they went in other directions. My point is, I don't know how much they should be paid. I don't. They right now get 9% of revenue. I don't think it's ridiculous if business is booming in a way that your franchise has gone from $2 million to $400 million in value, that you look around and go, I think our number 1 overall draft pick should be making more than $75K. That's what Caitlin Clark pockets each year, $75K. There's probably somewhere in the middle, but I can guarantee you your jokes aren't hitting as hard if you look into the actual business properties of the WNBA. You don't have to watch. Somebody is. Because $2.2 billion for 11 years of a media rights deal, there ain't networks out there passing that out for nothing. And if they are passing that out for nothing, I would like a meeting.
Yeah, I'm free.
I would like
whenever.
I can provide all the nothing you need. What number was that? 3. Let's hit number 2.
Just the 2 of us.
Scotty Scheffler. He won the Open Championship over the weekend. He is now 3/4 of the way to the career Grand Slam. He has 4 majors. He is making his claim as the best golfer of a generation. He is playing as good as anybody this century not named Tiger Woods. That's pretty good. The part that is fascinating is he's not performing or giving us the answers that I think most want from our best athletes. Right? We are conditioned to think that if you are a generational athlete of any kind at any sport, you wake up that sport, you eat that sport, you sleep that sport, you dream that sport, you sweat that sport. And Scotty Scheffler is simply saying, like, my job is golf. I love it. It's the best job. I chase wins aggressively. I practice hard, but it is not everything about my life, and that is rubbing some people the wrong way. Now, he made some comments earlier in the week that maybe didn't provide as much nuance on that statement, so then after winning, he clarified. We have that audio for you. Here is Scotty Scheffler after completing the 3rd leg of the career Grand Slam.
if somebody's going to listen to the comments I had this week, I would encourage them to listen to all of it. And hopefully I did a good job of communicating that, yeah, this is amazing to win the Open Championship, but at the end of the day, having success in life, whether it be in golf or work or whatever it is, that's not what fulfills the deepest desires of your heart. Am I grateful for it? Do I enjoy it? Oh my gosh, yeah, this is a cool feeling. I can't wait to get home and celebrate this championship, with the people that have kind of helped me along the way. But at the end of the day, it doesn't fulfill the deepest desires of my heart. And but it's just tough to describe when you haven't lived it. Something I actually talked to Shane about this week was, just because you win a golf tournament or accomplish something, it doesn't make you happy. It doesn't. Maybe for a few moments, maybe for a few days, but at the end of the day, there's more to life than playing golf. But I'm pretty excited to go home and celebrate this one.
What? There's more to life than playing golf. It's healthy. It might not be the most exciting, but it's really healthy to not, attach your identity to wins and losses, because then if the wins stop, you go to a dark place. Here's the crazy part. That outlook might make him a better golfer. Right? The fact that he's not attaching like all of his self-worth to winning tournaments might make it so he's not as tense on the back nine on Sunday. You know what I mean? I also think this is true. I think athletes often go through a bit. I think Rory McIlroy might be going through it now. I think if you watch the Aaron Rodgers documentary, I forget which streamer it's on, he went through it. I think there's some really weird, introspective kind of questions that you ask yourself after you achieve everything you set out to achieve as a kid. Like if you, starting at age 7, were obsessed with like becoming an NFL quarterback and winning a Super Bowl, and you do it, and then 2 weeks later you have to wake up and still take the trash out, and like if you don't have a fulfilling relationship, you still don't have a fulfilling relationship, that can rock your world, right? Like I said, I think Rory might be going through that a little bit. Like he chased that Masters and the final completion of the career Grand Slam for a decade. And it's almost like he ate, slept, lived, breathed, getting that win. And then he got it. And then like 2 weeks later, it's like, wait a second. I still have to practice hard. I still, like, everything in my life that was a problem wasn't solved. Like, oh no.
Wait, there's more than that?
What do I do now?
Yeah, exactly. What do I do now? It's like, okay.
Why am I not happy 100% of the time because I achieved this thing that I dedicated my life to? Scotty's almost ahead of that. Right? Maybe he was like, yeah, I won a Masters and went through a really weird place where I was going, what the heck? But either way, whatever he does to play golf like he played over the weekend, if I were him, I'd try to stay in that mindset, because he rolled through an unbelievable field of golfers on a tough course on a tough weekend. It has gotten to the point where if he's within a couple of strokes at the end of like the first round, and Dennis has heard it, right? When I call it lurking, when he's in like 5th after Thursday, I'm like, well, this is over. Like he's within striking distance. It's a wrap. That's number 2. Let's hit number 1. We talked about it a lot on Friday. Second round picks in the NFL draft were in a real weird holding pattern until about Thursday, and then they slowly all signed quickly, slowly started, and then all signed within the next couple of days. Nick Scorton signed over the weekend. Second round pick, Carolina Panthers, edge rusher, versatile defensive lineman, signed over the weekend, which means he could report today with the rest of the rookies, and he will be fully ingrained in the entirety of training camp, which is important. Matter of fact, the rookies as a whole are important. One of the questions we asked a while ago, and we'll do our question of the day for the Carolina Panthers at the end of the show like we always do, but I believe we've asked a few times about which rookies are going to be the breakout star and all those sorts of things. I think for a lot of teams it's really easy. Which rookie's most important this season? It's really easy. There's one or two, and you go from there. With the Panthers, I think they're depending on way more of their rookies to be main contributors. If you told me hands down Tetairoa McMillan, he's going to be wide receiver number 1, he's going to transform the offense, I'd go, all right, that makes sense. If you told me most impactful rookie has to be Nick Scorton, if he's not winning on the edge and getting after the quarterback, this defense is in trouble, I would go, yep, that's logical reasoning, checks out. If you said the exact same thing I just said about Nick Scorton, but you replaced Nick Scorton with third-round pick Princely Umanmielen, I would go, yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from. If you said, well, they've got Trayvon Merrick as one of their safeties, big free agency signing, the other spot could be up for grabs. Maybe that's Lathan Ransom coming from a premier program, 4th-round pick. I would go, all right, yeah, Ransom might have to be out there playing a lot of minutes. If you said, I don't trust tight ends with back issues that had back surgery, so I'm not trusting Tommy Tremble, that means, what is it, 6th-round pick? 6th-round pick? No, sorry, 5th-round pick, Mitchell Evans, tight end. He's going to have to play a huge role, way bigger than you think, because Jatavian Sanders isn't a blocking tight end, so Mitchell Evans is going to have to do a little bit of both. I'd go, that's surprising that you would pick a 5th-round tight end as your most impactful, but now that you put it that way, I see the logic. You might even go, I got a dark horse. What about Jimmy Horn Jr., the 6th-round wide receiver? I don't know. Obviously the wide receiving core is a little bit up for grabs, even though it's more solidified this year than last. But I think he's going to have a huge impact on special teams as a returner. There's a lot of options there. Not to mention, Trevor Etienne, the 4th-rounder, is one injury away from being an important part of the running back backfield and still might be a pass-catching option on passing downs if you can get the protection thing down. I mean, there are a lot of ways this season for the Panthers rises and falls with rookies. And they drafted as such. Like, they this year, you'll never know, right? Some people are diehard best player available every pick. Some people are, no, actually, we need to fill some needs. We need to get some contributors at certain positions. If you told me the Panthers drafted for need in this draft, I'd believe you.
Yeah.
Now, you could say they also maneuvered up and down in rounds, so the best player available when they were picking was a player of need because they handpicked the spot that they drafted or moved back from. But I think this year they were aware. They looked at their roster and said, got a lot of players we like, got some free agents that we enjoy, but we're going to have to draft players that are ready to play. So this the rookies are there today. I don't think this is all, hey, we're just going to teach you how to be a pro, no pressure. I think for 5, 6, 7 of these guys, it's like, hey, we got you here for 2 extra days. We're going to get 2 extra days of meetings and getting you up to speed on everything because you're going to have to be up there understanding every call, not being surprised by anything you see. There's no rookie mistakes because we need you to play huge minutes. We need you to play a lot of snaps. I mean, there's a world where there's plays on defense where Cam Jackson is one of the interior defensive linemen and both rookie edge rushers are in.
Yeah.
And that means there's not a lot of veterans on that defensive front, but they do rotate them in a bunch. So, depending on how the rotations get mixed up interior and outside up front, that is an aggressive move, but it's the hand you've dealt yourself.
And don't forget second-year linebacker Trevin Wallace in there too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of youth on that team.
A lot of youth.
By the way, you mentioned Tommy Tremble and the tight end. He is starting training camp on the physically unable to perform list. He is able to be activated at any time. He and wide receiver Dan Chisena mostly practice squad, a little bit of special teams at the end of the season last year. Super fast, but that's really all his role was.
So even if Tommy Tremble is off the because again, when you're on the PUP list to start training camp, you can come off at any point in time. Once you get into the season, there are certain rules about once you're on it, you can't come off for a certain week and all those sort of things. But even if he's off it in time for game 1, all these early reps are going to go to essentially a first and a second year player. It's going to be Mitchell Evans and Jatavian Sanders. It's a lot of depending on young guys. You could tell me if they were in a 2 tight end set right now, you could have 2 tight ends rookies, Tetairoa McMillan a rookie, probably Xavier Legette, and I mean, you're looking at a lot of first and second year players.
Yeah, it's a lot of youth.
Adam Thielen should hold office hours where like at his locker where he's like, oh, yep, I got a 15 minutes here with Jatavian. All right, Jatavian, got to let you go. Xavier Legette's waiting outside for more veteran leadership and wisdom from Adam Thielen, because there's a lot of young guys on that roster. A lot of them. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Right now, I will give you a bit of veteran advice and leadership. If you're going to splurge on a nice luxury timepiece, Bailey's Fine Jewelry, because their selection is awesome. They'll find you the watch that you want, and on top of that, they'll teach you a little bit about it. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. What I want you to do, again, here's my little bit of veteran advice. Go to Bailey's Fine Jewelry, their Village District location in Raleigh, because that's where the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop exists. Walk in, go to your right. Now, why would I say that place specifically? Well, part of it's for the vibes. It's cool in there. You can have yourself a drink, listen to some music, sit down, discuss what you're looking for, right? Maybe there's a Rolex that your grandfather or grandmother had that you envision in your brain, and you want to get your own version of it. We'll talk to them about it. What did it look like? What was the dial? They'll bring you examples from their pre-owned and vintage Rolex collection and help you narrow in what you're looking for. Maybe you watched a movie. I don't know, maybe of the most famous movie Spy. Yep, the one you're thinking of. And say, I saw a watch on their wrist that I absolutely loved. They'll go, well, let me show you over here to the Omega Seamasters. I think I got exactly what you're looking for. The fact of the matter is, they're watch experts. They can teach you about the movements inside, the mechanisms, the actual technology of the watches. They can teach you about the history, which ones were innovative for their time and spawned so many mimics, which ones are still icons in modern times and innovating as we speak. The Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry, has something for everyone. So check them out. And when you're there, make sure they know you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan from me, Tim. Now we have numbers game. We need some numbers game contestants. The prize for today, we got a good one. A 4-pack of tickets. That's 4-pack? I mean, that's such a good prize. I want to make sure I'm not reading a typo. You can win a 4-pack of tickets to see Thomas Rhett at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on July 31st. 4-pack. Sorry, hit the mic. All you have to do is win the numbers game. To win the numbers game, you have to call in. We need 2 contestants. 919-860-5326 if you want to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Thomas Rhett. 919-860-5326. Call in now. Numbers game next.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I know the hurricane season came to an end. Another year with a loss to Florida in the Eastern Conference Finals, 2 of the last 3. But it's been a great year, and it's going to be a great summer with all that cap room the Hurricanes have. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, from free agency to trades to the draft. We'll have player interviews, special sit-down with Rod Brindamore that he doesn't even know about yet. He'll do it, don't worry. Just stay tuned to the Canes Corner podcast on YouTube. Search Canes Corner and wherever you get your podcast.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending in Cary. If you're in the market for a mortgage, good luck. Comparing apples to oranges is now more challenging than ever, as we've noticed a return to 80s-style lending with multiple points being charged up front in order to make the payment appear more attractive. Typically, the lowest rate quote you find will have the highest closing cost you'll find, as numerous lenders play this game of getting you to focus only on the payment and not the $15,000 due at closing. On refinancing, it's even worse, as lenders willingly add these costs to your loan amount. At Miller Lending, we don't believe in closing costs. By working with our popular no-cost program, you simply close on today's rates and refinance anytime you'd like. Nothing rolled in, nothing charged at closing. Imagine having the freedom to take advantage of smaller rate drops, opportunities to drop PMI, or simply put that money to better use. So before you throw away thousands of dollars in needless fees, pick up the phone and call Miller Lending today. 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender on MLS number 250-2146.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. TNCs apply. Available in app only.
Did you catch Luisito's header?
Yeah, I just recorded it on my new Samsung A36 5G phone I got for free at Total Wireless.
Oh, I'm actually live streaming the whole match with my new Samsung Tab A9 that I also got free at Total Wireless.
I got that tablet too.
And I got that phone too. We both got both.
Switch to Total Wireless and get both the Samsung A36 5G and the Samsung Tab A9 for free. For a limited time while supplies last, valid in store. Requires new phone activation on the Total 5G Unlimited plan or higher external port and ID verification and new activation on the Total 5G Unlimited 6-month tablet plan. Restrictions apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. And as always, we will ask both contestants the same question. Dennis will hear the answers, our producer, and he will be the judge. Decide on his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. We'll start with Matthew in Raleigh. Matthew, can you hear me? Matthew, are you there?
Yes.
All right. So our prize for today is a 4-pack of tickets to see Thomas Rhett, a 4-pack of concert tickets. So we're going to put a spin. This might be our question all week. We're going to put a spin on the tried and true like dinner party question of if you had 4 people at a dinner, who would you invite? And go, if you're going to a concert and you have 4 tickets, so it's yourself and 3 others, but they have to be athletes or coaches or someone from the sports world, what 3 people are you bringing with you? Dead or alive?
Oh, that's a good one. Probably Mike Tyson, Coach K, and maybe Cam Ward, because he was my favorite Hurricane growing up.
Okay, I was thinking just because he was on the TV earlier, Cam Ward, the Miami Hurricane. So you're going Cam Ward, the goaltender, Mike Tyson, and Coach K is the 3 you bring.
Correct.
All right. I have to admit, could have given me a lot of guesses. I would not have put those 3 together at a concert. But we'll see if that answer holds up. That brings us to Brian in Princeton. Brian in Princeton, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, we'll ask you the same question. In honor of having a 4-pack of tickets, the prize today to see Thomas Rhett. I want to call him Brett Thomas. Thomas Rhett. The question is, you're going to a concert, you have 4 tickets, one of them's for yourself, you get to invite 3 other people, dead or alive, from sports history. I have to be an athlete, a coach, someone related with sports. What 3 are you bringing?
I'm going to bring Michael Jordan, Chad LaRose, because he's my favorite Caniac, and let's go with Dean Smith.
All right.
And Tiger Woods.
All right, well, actually, one of the tickets has to be you. So who are you kicking out?
Oh, yeah. We'll kick Tiger Woods out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Stay on the line. We'll see which of you gets to go first. Dennis, the options are.
Okay.
It's kind of similar, actually. Yeah. Mike Tyson, Coach K, and Cam Ward, the goalie version. Of course, the original version. MJ, another Canes legend, and Chad LaRose, and instead of Coach K, Dean Smith. So they kind of picked out of the same categories, like legendary Mike, legendary ACC basketball coach, legendary Kane.
This is quite the crew. That's tough because, Chad LaRose, things might get a little weird with Chad. And I say that like in a fun, loving way, like just an outgoing personality. I think MJ would be down too. Yeah.
But Mike Tyson's he's a wild card.
Here's the thing: if you're going to go with MJ, be prepared to lose money. That's something to keep in mind as well. I don't know. Dean's there, might hold it in check.
I was going to say Dean would be like the father figure to MJ. I would assume.
I know. That's
the chaperone
one. And then Mike Tyson. That's a tough one.
Mike Tyson, Coach K, Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. That is so tough. Give me that first one. Give me Tyson, Cam Ward, and Coach K.
All right, Matthew in Raleigh gets to go first.
That is, I don't know, Tyson in and of itself.
By the way, if you call in the rest of the week, that might just be the question for the week.
For real.
I really enjoyed that. Matthew in Raleigh gets to go first. Brian in Princeton, don't worry, you will have your chance. Just stay on hold for a second. Matthew, are you ready to pick a category?
Yep,
all right. Ready. The categories are NFL players that use wrestling moves as their signature celebrations, NFL players that are TikTok's hottest NFL players, not named Jimmy Garoppolo. NBA players, Gonzaga's finest, so all players that played at Gonzaga. Or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
I'll do the Hurricanes.
All right. I'll give you the team and the player. I will say the team in this category, even though we know it, to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. There will be 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Tell me the jersey numbers as quickly as you can. Any questions before we get started?
No, I'm ready.
Perfect. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Eric Robinson, Carolina Hurricanes.
50.
Correct. Sebastian Aho, Carolina Hurricanes.
20.
Correct. Chris Terry, Carolina Hurricanes.
18.
Incorrect. Brian Rodney, Carolina Hurricanes.
45.
Incorrect. Chris Terry, Carolina Hurricanes.
17.
Incorrect.
No,
Brian Rodney, Carolina Hurricanes.
46.
Incorrect. Chris Terry, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
Andrew Alberts, Carolina Hurricanes.
52.
Incorrect. You got the two current players. The former ones gave you a hard time. So you got Robinson, you got Aho. Terry, we would have accepted 25 or 58. He had won both. Brian Rodney, we would have accepted 28, 29, or 33. So you had a bunch of options there. And you didn't really get a chance to guess Andrew Alberts. But 41 was the number we were looking for. You did get 2. We'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and stay on the line, okay?
Cool. Thanks.
That brings us to Brian in Princeton. Brian, are you ready to pick a category?
I am.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose are NFL players that use wrestling moves to celebrate, NFL players from TikTok's hottest NFL players, not named Jimmy Garoppolo, or NBA Gonzaga's finest alumni, or people that went there. They might not be alum.
Let's go with NFL that use wrestling finisher.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least 3 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers.
27.
Incorrect. Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets.
4.
Incorrect. George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers.
32.
Incorrect. Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets.
2.
Incorrect. George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers.
20.
Incorrect. Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets.
12.
Incorrect. George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers. That's an offer. Tough one for you. You went with 4 for Aaron Rodgers. I think there may have been some Brett Favre overlap there. But he wore number 8 with the Jets. 8 is what we were looking for. And George Kittle, we were looking for 85. Unfortunately, didn't get either of those, but hopefully you had some fun.
I did.
All right, appreciate it. Call back in and try again. Do you want to explain the celebrations, Dennis?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
Yes,
I don't know how to even pronounce what George Kittle does.
So he does the Cero Miedo, the Zero Fear.
You had a hard time too.
I know it's in Spanish. But Cero Miedo, which is Pentagon Junior or Pentel Cero Miedo, depending on what promotion he was in. But he does a Cero Miedo, which is Zero Fear is what it means in Spanish. And Aaron Rodgers always does the championship belt around the waist.
Double check,
yeah. State Farm did that with it. But yes.
So that one's okay. I did know that one. That means the winner is, by the way, Matthew and Raleigh. Matthew, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Go ahead and stay on the line. Dennis will grab the info he needs to get to make sure you get your prize, which is a 4-pack of tickets to see Thomas Rhett. So enjoy.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Sit on the line there. And in the meantime, Dennis, you have something you'd like to tell the people, don't you?
I do. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Folks, maybe you're struggling with that high interest debt. Maybe you're maxed out on those credit cards. You can just pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One client recently got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and even cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. It's a pretty massive turnaround when you look at it. Here's the thing about Loan Pronto. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Also, folks, as a homeowner, your home equity, it's yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Call now to get the conversation started. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There are only 2 days left until Carolina Panthers hit the training camp practice field. Our question of the day, next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Are the Detroit Lions really as close as we think they are?
Yeah, I think the Detroit Lions are right there. And I believe in the culture that head coach Dan Campbell has built in the Motor City. Yeah, I think the Detroit Lions are going to be right there again, vying for NFC supremacy. And I think this is one of the best teams in all of football.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, it's Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan for Clayton Homes. The Sign and Save sales event is happening now at Clayton Homes and Oakwood Homes, but only through August 31st. You can save up to $5,000 instantly on your new home. That's $2,500 off a single section or $5,000 off a multi-section home. Discover the comfort, the style, and the value of a Clayton-built home, crafted with North Carolina in mind. From modern floor plans to energy-saving upgrades and premium finishes, there's a home fitting your lifestyle and, of course, your budget. And with summer heating up, it's the perfect time to enjoy energy-smart features for year-round comfort and savings. Stop by, tour our fully furnished models, or visit manufacturedhomeoffers.com and browse limited-time deals. But don't wait. The Sign and Save sales event ends August 31st. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating retailers through 8/31. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, by the way. We would greatly appreciate a little subscribe, a little follow, a little comment, a little share on our YouTube. That's the key one, right? If you have a friend that's a big Panther fan, you have a friend that's really into ACC football or basketball, tip them off. Send them a text. Hey, these guys are about to talk to a bunch of the ACC football coaches. Wednesday, Thursday. They're going to have some of the biggest players, some of the biggest newsmakers in the ACC. You're going to want to subscribe and set alerts. You can be the plug. You can hook them up with 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. First taste is free. No, I'm kidding. It's all free. All you have to do is subscribe.
Just subscribe.
It's just
YouTube. Literally that simple.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. With that being said, we are just 2 days away from Carolina Panthers hitting the practice field.
Yeah, I'll be there for that too.
On the field, doing the football. How awesome is that, everybody? And not only is that awesome for because we get to start talking about things that are actually on the field. But also that means we can be done with our questions of the day. We've been going months, questions of the day, every day a different question about the Panthers leading up to training camp. Just 2 more. Today's question is, how will the Panthers utilize Tommy Tremble, Jatavian Sanders, and Mitchell Evans at tight end? And with a topical addendum, could they add a tight end in the recent future, the near future? So here's the way I think they look at it kind of in a utopia. Tommy Tremble is the do-it-all guy, right? He's a blocker. He can catch some passes. He is the kind of quintessential all-encompassing tight end. Jatavian Sanders handles some of the more split-out wide stuff, running routes, has a little bit more speed, ability to stretch the seam. Mitchell Evans is a player that is kind of Tommy Tremble's backup in that he's more of a combo, can block, can run, but he's a 5th-round rookie, so you don't want to depend on him a ton unless you have to. That's the way I think you kind of, if in an ideal world, how their tight end room breaks down. However, Tommy Tremble is starting, as we said earlier, training camp on the physically unable to perform list. He had some surgery during the offseason, and he's not ready to get started. So suddenly you look at Jatavian Sanders, and you go, I don't think your role changes very much. Like, you're still the guy out there passing down, stretching the seam. Mitchell Evans, however, you might be thrust into an area you either are not ready for, or we may have to put on some training wheels for you. And then some news happens over the weekend. The Seattle Seahawks cut Noah Fant. They released him. Noah Fant, a former first-round pick, one of that stretch where it seemed like there was an Iowa first-round tight end drafted every year there for like a half a decade. He was a part of that. And he was highly drafted, and he went to the Broncos, and then he was part of the Russell Wilson trade that sent Russell Wilson from Seattle to Denver, and he's been in Seattle for a couple years. He's like a precursor to the Kyle Pitts era in that he's a guy that you look at and you go, he's got everything. He can do it all, but then you look at the stats and go, why isn't he doing it all? He never really put together the type of big statistical receiving season that you'd hope. Here's where it's interesting. His first year in Seattle, I believe, was the last year that Dave Canales was in Seattle. Their tight ends coach was also out there crossing paths with him in Seattle. So if the Tommy Tremble injury is a little bit more harrowing than maybe they're letting on publicly, if there's a little bit more of, I don't know if he's going to be ready, or a little bit more of, I'm a little worried about re-injury risk, Noah Fant might be somebody that already has a little bit of experience in the system. You already know what kind of person he is in the facility. You might want to entertain that. Now, if you don't need to, right? If Tremble's going to be back and you like the group, you don't have to by any stretch. But Noah Fant is looking for, I assume this is what Noah Fant is looking for, a 1-year deal somewhere where there's opportunity for him to get on the field, where he can hope to put up a really impressive season and hit the market again next offseason, less as a once-heralded prospect who hasn't lived up to it and more on this guy's really talented and he just had a good season. That's what he wants to go into the free agency world as. So essentially, what I'm saying about the tight end world is this. I am still, because I am a big fan of this player, I am still all in on Jatavian Sanders as a pass catcher. I'm also aware that the big news of him this offseason is he dropped 10 pounds, meaning he got 10 pounds lighter. I have never once heard somebody drop weight and say, I'm excited to block. So in this offense that Dave Canales wants to run with so much attention on getting the ball to your running back, I'm worried about the tight ends that are going to be asked to block. If Tommy Tremble just had back surgery, I'm not sure the best thing to do is say, like, hey, 20 times a game, you're going to have to one-on-one block in the run game or even double team in the run game with the tackle. Like, I don't know how much you want that guy to be digging in his heels and driving off the line and trying to move guys that, quite frankly, are a lot heavier than he is. But also, there's a legendary, up until the last 2 years when Laporta had a big season and then Brock Bowers had a big season, and let's be real, they're wide receivers dressed up as tight ends. There's a legendary slow learning curve for tight ends. It is very difficult to have a huge impact on the team as a more traditional blocking and catching tight end as a rookie. It just doesn't happen that often. So asking Mitchell Evans to go in there and be a huge impact player in all of the things that a tight end does could be a bit unfair. Again, Sam Laporta and Brock Bowers excluded, but also understanding they're not asked to block a ton. It's just there's an on-ramp there that takes a while. Noah Fant is intriguing to me, if I'm being real. If you're all in, by the way, and this goes into what I'm saying, I think Noah Fant helps you win games this year. If Tommy Tremble isn't ready week one and ready to play a lot of snaps throughout the season, I think Noah Fant helps you win games this year. 2 years ago, I would have said it's not worth it. What's the point of going from 2 wins to 3? Like, there would have been a lot of that coming out of my mouth into this microphone. But this year, I do think it's important. Win 8 rather than 7, it's a completely different beast. Win 7 rather than 6, it's a completely different beast. If Noah Fant's willing to play for something reasonable and you have the cap space, I'm definitely considering it.
By the way, there was a little crossover. His first year in Seattle was 2022 when Dave Canales was in Seattle, that final year that Dave Canales was with the Seahawks.
I believe their tight end coach as well was out there.
I believe so, yeah. I think Brad Itzig even as well, the offensive coordinator. They're all. So there is a little level of familiarity as well.
I don't know, right? Noah Fant's been in the league a lot. He's been in the league a while.
6 years.
And only one of them would have been like under that specific system. But more importantly, I think you know what kind of guy he is, right? You've spent a year in the facility with him. Will he be pouting if he doesn't get the ball all the time? Will he be this? Will he be that? Or does he understand it's a, like, you scratch my back, I scratch your situation where we're going to give you a chance to prove yourself this year. We need you to be a leader and to bring these guys along and to do the rest. If you think he's that kind of guy, I'm very intrigued. Very intrigued. Just like, and by the way, same thing I was saying with some corner prospects, the Jair Alexander type. Same thing I was saying with some safeties that were or were not on the market here the last couple of weeks, where I'm going like, listen, you're going to come in, we're going to give you a chance to prove yourself. But also, I'm going to need you to look at some of these young guys who we're also a fan of and make sure you are passing along info. I'm going to let you play. I'm going to let you prove yourself. But if you prove yourself and then you become really expensive, you're going to leave, and I want you to leave our room better than you found it. Because if it's JT Sanders, Jatavian Sanders, and Mitchell Evans, and they're the only healthy tight ends you have, then like this question, how will they utilize the tight ends, becomes much different. It's like whoever's not actively exhausted is on the field. And maybe if we want to go 2 tight ends, they're both on the field, and we got to go pick up Jordan Matthews for depth again, which is something they've done off and on the last couple of years. And I don't think that's what they're interested in doing. This is one of those positions that I think could go haywire kind of quickly, which would be a bummer, because I think when Dave Canales' offense is working at its best, they do have heavy personnel out there, right? I don't think he wants to have 4 and 5 wideouts very often. I think he wants to have 3 wideouts at most, and he wants to mix in extra tight ends and definitely have the running backs on the field as often as possible. But it all comes down to what Noah Fant wants and their impressions of Noah Fant from when they shared a facility with him out there in Seattle. But he's definitely physically able. You're not a first-round pick at tight end if you don't have some pretty impressive measurables at that position.
It's got to be for any team, obviously, but for Carolina in this particular position group that you've talked about here at the tight ends, you're one bad day away from literally being down to undrafted guys. Like, you're literally one bad day away.
Yeah.
That's a scary thing to think about.
You might be one day away from, in a panic, calling Noah Fant.
Yeah, exactly. How much? Blank check.
I know.
We'll get you here.
Hey, text. Hey, man. Like, it's the old like you up text, or it's I don't know if this happens to you. Occasionally it happens to me. Somebody I won't have talked to for a long time will hit me up like, hey, so how are things? How's it going? Everything going well? And I'm like, yeah. Long time no talk. And then they're like, so do you get tickets to Duke, Carolina? And I'm like, oh, okay. I see where this is.
I've had that happen before.
You reach out to Noah Fant. You're like, hey, man, how's you having long time no talk? So can you play tight end like this weekend? We need you here right now. I know you thought I was just calling to catch up. It's not how it works. I'm kind of desperate. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Nearing the end here. One more time, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan, and get ready for an awesome week. Tomorrow, ACC Media Days kick off. We will be in our studio here at home, but we'll play some audio for you from there. Wednesday, Thursday, we're on the road. Friday, we're at the Durham Bulls. There's a lot going on. So buckle up is what I'm saying. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
The Adam Gold Show.
Everybody in Duke's starting five that made the Final Four got drafted. 3 of them in the top 10. Cooper Flagg 1, Con Knipple 4, Kamon Malawak went 10. Sion James and Tyrese Proctor also drafted. And I keep hearing, how did they not win the title? How did they not even make it to Monday night? Carolina had Jamison and Carter and didn't make it to the championship game 2 years in a row. It's sports.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Is your whole home operating at peak performance? With Newcomb & Company, your independent Trane dealer, proudly serving our community for over 70 years. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs, including repairs and replacements for faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business. Sports can be unpredictable. Your elevator shouldn't be. That's why you need Metro Elevator, Raleigh's hometown team for expert commercial elevator service. Locally owned and operated, we specialize in keeping your building moving with top-tier repair, maintenance, modernization, and installation. Our highly trained technicians deliver fast, responsive service to ensure your elevators run smoothly. No surprises,